imagery there. So,
All right. We should be live. Let me ping everybody. Welcome to the shit show that this is gonna be, baby.
I
I
can't
hope it's not
wait.
a shit show. I hope it's not a shit show. Will
I
distress
can't
me.
wait till we all get picked and we all just sit in silence until whoever gets finally reacts about why the fuck they got picked then.
Well, I think there's going to be two of us who, if we get picked early, might have some choice words for draft.
I think so as well. And I'm
right.
very much looking forward to it.
Well,
Hello,
like-
everybody.
like-
We are
like I
live,
told-
gentlemen. I just want
I
to
got some
officially
inside
start. No, I want to officially start the pre-show clock. Take it away.
Nice point.
I'm gonna turn you up, Trent. Turn you up and
I
turn
got
you
some
on, baby.
inside info from an unlikely source. So
I love it. All right, let's start with the inside info. It's for people who don't know, if you're watching randomly, I don't know why you would, but welcome. It's our 3.0 division draft. I am just gonna kind of be hovering around announcing the picks. Our panel officially consists of Jason, Detroit Jason, Philadelphia Trent, and New York Yankees Jacob. They're gonna spew all the fun facts at you guys. And we will begin the picks when the clock gets to 0. Take it away, gentlemen.
What's up, Sky? You guys ready for some chaos?
I hope it's not a shit show. That would distress me immensely.
It's 100%
A good shit
gonna be
show.
a shit show. Yes.
So, I feel like we should start with the spreadsheet. AJ's a psycho,
Love it.
and he gave us a peek of his prep. So you could take that two ways: A, he's a psycho, or B, he really fucking cares.
He's overthinking it, man.
There's
Trent,
nothing I love
multiple
more over the last
factors.
24 hours than the AJ spreadsheet. I am a big fan in every way of the AJ spreadsheet. Love everything about it. Now, yes, he's insane, but still funny.
Trent, both things can be true at once.
I agree. I agree. You're completely correct.
Wait, I'm legally obligated to say this one thing on here. I should have picked Zach to be on our broadcast. So
Why are you legally
No.
obligated to say that? That's
because
bullshit.
it affects trade talks. So,
I thought you were about to say,
Oh.
Jeff, what the hell are you doing? I thought you were about to roll out.
no,
I love that he
I'll
cracked
get
that
to
out on you today. That was funny.
Yeah, I know. So, but
Do we have a consensus on who we think the 1-1 will be?
I wanted to go around and see, like, if we all give our top three, because
Our top 3?
yeah. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, that'll be tough for me. Yeah, Jakob can go.
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm full of opinions. Why not, eh? Yeah. I think the obvious picks are the guys who have been bad and have a longer history of being bad. I think it makes the most sense rather than, like, let's say Pittsburgh, who hasn't found much success since they've joined, but, like, they're still kind of a wild card versus guys like Minnesota and Boston, who have been terrible and consistently bad, that you are going to get free wins with on a more consistent basis rather than, like, rolling the dice and hoping that works out for you. So I think Boston and Minnesota are, like, the two that come to mind immediately. Like, Zach has been bad. That's been known. Don't tell me the SCS was his. Boston Tyler, very similar story. There's, like, 3 playoff appearances, 0 wins, a whole lot of, like, 5th and 6th and 7ths in the division there, and it looks like they're in for another, like, 7 years of rebuilding. And then probably Yort, unfortunately. I hate to say it. He's done enough very early in his tenure to give himself a top 3 pick, unfortunately. Every season, I'm praying for him, and then he just does something stupid like trade for Tracy Dyer. So,
Jacob, you stole my thunder. So I disagree with Zach.
okay.
And I'll piggyback what AJ said. I don't know if he said this to me in DM or if he said it in general Slack. He's not taking a team with a number 2 farm. Zach has a number 2 ranked farm. Say what you will about it. It's in game. It's ranked number 2. So you may not like his prospects, but he's at least got him a ranked highly farm. My number 1 overall, and this has to do with last night, is Yort. The Tracer Dyer trade was the final straw. I don't think Yort understands how to play this game.
Tracy Dyer put up 4 WAR last season, man. That's a good player.
I don't think Yort
That's
understands.
A good player.
You trade the pitcher that got sent to the Twins is a real asset, okay? And you're taking on $28 million worth of Tracy fucking Dyer, who was a Pittsburgh spec, okay? So I love him, but my 1-1 right now is Yort.
Jeez.
And that's because I don't think he understands. I think he is going to get murdered in this league. Like,
Jeez. Fuck you, Yort. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
and then, I mean, but then it was Boston.
It was.
It was Boston. I would put Boston at 2 just because he has no history of being good in this league. You know,
I have a question for you guys.
Okay. You go ahead.
Do you think they should take into account the reaction the GM is going to have, right? Like, I think. Don't get this wrong. I love Andrew, but I feel like if he got taken 1-1, it wouldn't do anything to his. Like, he would be like, okay, whatever. Like, I feel like if Zach got taken 1-1, he'd actually be pissed, even though he'd pretend he wasn't. And it might actually like light a fire, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm way overthinking it. Maybe I'm AJing the shit out of this, but
I think if there's 2 close GMs, you take the guy that you know you will piss off more.
That's fair.
By taking
that's
them.
fair.
Trent, what about you? If you had the 1-1.
Well, that's really what you're asking. Like, if I had the 1-1, and obviously I don't deserve to and don't, but I think I would take Boston. I think generally my opinion is farms be damned. Now, you don't have to agree with that, but I don't think I would take into account the farm. We pick on people in Slack for talking up their farm and how it leads to success. And that's because it doesn't always lead to success. This is well established. It leads to more winning, but it doesn't always lead to consistent, regular, making the playoffs for 7 years in a row success. It's just not true. And so I have a general opinion that farms be damned. And so I think if you forced me into a corner, I'd pick Boston Tyler 1-1.
I could not agree
after
more.
After that, I'd probably go Zach. I think after that, I'd probably go Yort. And then after that, I think the 3 teams that are not being talked about enough in the first, which relates to my farms be damned attitude, are Pittsburgh, Fresno, and Cleveland. I think everybody's overselling the farms there in a way that I don't think I would. Now that's just me. People can disagree, and I'm sure AJ's considering the farm because he's got the spreadsheet of greatness. But and again, that's good for him. I'm pleased AJ's taking it that seriously. I very much agree with Jakob's take that if you are between 2 GMs, you take the guy that you piss off more just for the comic relief. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I still think the Phillies are a legitimate 1-1 threat for whatever it's worth. I think AJ is somewhat serious about that. I'm not sure that he's going to do it, but I think Boston's a possibility. I think Minnesota's a possibility. And I think Philly's still a possibility. Right or wrong, it's the case.
If you guys want to leak, the 1-1 is going to be an East team.
Oh, Gene Poole did say that yesterday. I did hear that on ESPN.
Well, I heard that directly from AJ. He said it's down to an East team, so a couple East teams.
Are we thinking the early part?
No, but it sounds like all of us have a consensus on kind of the bottom or the top 3, right? And I'll echo this with Trent. Nobody's talking about Pittsburgh and maybe, I don't know what the plan. Obviously, he's rebuilding.
It's hard to gauge, though. He hasn't.
Yeah, but
done enough. We haven't seen him win, so it's hard to know.
Exactly.
So I think he's probably in that 5-ish range. But so when I did my mock at the beginning of the season, my first pick was Fresno. Now I was going to do a risers and fallers thing off my mock. Well, I took a nap today, so that didn't work.
Yeah, you did.
Good old nap. Yeah.
So Fresno would have been a riser who probably isn't a first round pick anymore.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I did. I'm still not sure I agree with that. I think I'd still consider Fresno with.
I had 3 teams that I had rising. I had the Knights, I had the Indians, and I had Fresno, because they're all coming out of rebuilds, and the rosters look a whole lot better than they did at the beginning of the mock. At the mock of my mock. And then I had some other teams that were on the back end of the draft who I feel might slip a little bit. So
I think that related to my I don't care about farm is I think I take perhaps too seriously. And GMs can draft however they want, whatever. It's not up to me. But I don't really care how the roster looks now. I think you look at history. And so the other names that you would hear earlier if I were in charge than if these 6 people were in charge are the 2 Andys. Just because I don't think Andrew's done a lot to deserve anything less than a first round pick. And Andy, Oaklandy, I love him. But I don't really care what the rosters are now. I understand to an extent the reticence in taking guys with good farms who don't have a lot of history in the league, like Michael Luigi or Etten or DH Errol, whoever we're gonna talk about there. But I don't know that you can say that with Andrew and Andy. I think they have obviously the long-term history that you can fall back on. So, I mean, again, that's why it's fun, because there's disagreement over this. I think, I mean, we've probably named more than 6 teams. Not everybody can be a 1 in the first round, right? Like there are only 6 drafters in the first round. I think one guy who's in a really interesting spot is Amin. With the 1-6 and then the turn over to the 2-1.
Yeah.
I think you could see something really interesting like Philly, Pittsburgh, or Fresno, Vegas, or something like that. Where
Yankees, Tigers, just something silly.
Yankees,
wow. I don't know that I'll be real surprised if it's that, or maybe the 2 Andys right in a row, like Andrew, Andy with the 1-6 and then 2-1. I mean, I think Amin actually has a really interesting slot in the draft. I think the draft turns at the 2 Atlantic GMs. I don't have any idea what D. Rich is going to do.
Well,
I don't have any idea what Miami Sam's going to do, and I think that's an even more interesting position.
Well, per Amin, about an hour ago, he's done very little prep. So
wow, out of touch, dude.
That's
sad to hear,
out
honestly.
Of touch. Yes, I was gonna ask who you guys think are like the biggest wild cards of the drafters.
It's Casey Mack.
Oh, the wild cards?
It's Casey Mack.
No.
The
captains. The captains, yeah. And like, who's gonna go off the board first and pick somebody weird?
AJ.
No, I don't think
the spreadsheet is going to lead him down the false paths.
Probably.
I can smell it from a mile away.
I think D. Rich might be a little bit of a wild card. I think D. Rich cares about who he plays with in a way that maybe some of the other people don't.
Yes, but I think he's the most competitive and serious about winning about them in a way that like everybody else is. That like he's not gonna sacrifice getting a bunch of shit teams that he thinks are terrible in his division over.
I would hope everybody's like that. I feel like all the guys are like that. Yeah, Craig too. Like I think
Craig
all 6
is
guys
the most pragmatic of anybody. Like I can rely on Craig for like literally anything, to like take it seriously, to have done his homework, to pick the best division possible for him. He's not gonna fuck around. Craig is like on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, I think Amin could be a wild card, and Dustin. I think there might be multiple wild cards.
Hearing that he didn't prep, that's sad, man.
He
who
said
knows
he
what he's gonna
mentioned
pick.
something in chat that like his second round pick is like gonna cause some controversy or something, like an hour ago or something.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
meme.
I'm like, yeah, Amin did, and I'm like, what do you mean?
So I wanted to get into a point that
I honestly think he's going to draft. Hopefully I'm on Amin's list. If he takes me in the second round, I'm not gonna get super mad because I want Amin to take me. Like I don't really care where I go in the draft. Like I'll play it up. Oh yeah, I'm so fucking mad. I don't really fucking care. I like. But
I want to talk about where this draft is going to be won, because I don't think the first 1.5 to 2 rounds, I think you could slice and dice 10 different teams and probably be okay. I think the draft is going to be won from the end of the second round to the end of the fourth round. I think is where teams
I
are
think
going to
so
really
as
pick up
well.
the spots.
I think the first and fifth rounds are probably the most important, like the worst of the worst and the best of the best. But like year to year, like the fluctuations and noise will just like represent like all the shit that we see in every year. Where like, oh, so and so's a surprise, and so it's like you're trying to find the least surprise, and you will win the draft in like rounds 3 to 4 probably with like teams that look good on paper. And then just like are more prone to having shit years from time to time, right?
I just saw his name pop up on Slack because I'm on General as well, and watching that. And does Portland Tyler survive the second round? We sure?
No, I think he's gonna go like 1-6. I
Yeah,
don't think he's
I
like
think
a
Portland-
top
I mean,
3.
well, no, but again, I mean, if we're all pretty good on our top 3, you got to believe the other captains are thinking the same thing. But then you throw in Pittsburgh and you throw in, we kind of forgot about Tyler. Yeah, but
I think some
of
the newer GMs will go before Tyler, just because
I think Tyler could slide into the second round, but
yes, very much so.
He has a first round pick all over him. But
I do want to say that
20
seasons ago, Tyler would have been the easiest 1-1 in the history of this league, but he turned on the afterburners and started to give a shit. I guess I'm not sure, but
I think
he's
Tyler's
like a totally different GM.
Tyler does himself a disservice, like Jeff and myself, and that we're active, right? Like so people like
for sure,
right? Tyler's a likable guy. Like I mean that sincerely. I'd play the crap out of a division with Tyler. I love that guy. Like who doesn't like Tyler? So I think that that's part of he does himself a disservice. But no, I think that Tyler. I'm not surprised if Amin thinks about Tyler with one of his 2 picks. So,
I mean, he does have a longer history of unsuccessfulness. I was gonna say failure, but I'm trying to be nice.
I won't. He's a failure.
Guys, we need to talk about Casey Matt. Where does Casey Matt?
Nobody knows.
Who fucking knows, bro?
I would pick him in the third round. I feel like. I feel like that's fair because like he could have a one-off year where he makes like the RCS, and then the next year he's like outside of the lottery. You know.
How do you gauge that? What the team's going to look like in?
It's going to be different
seasons?
Every year. Yeah, Corey is a good person, Zach, to actually talk about because Corey is a very huge wild card.
Corey is a wild card. Somebody posted something on Slack that I'm not sure I agree with. Somebody said this is a 15-year draft. Corey's team will be good for 10 of them. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't. No, because he's going into a brand new rebuild, right?
We have never seen a rebuild, though.
He's not year 4 of the rebuild. This is year 1 of the rebuild. Like
if you guys like sort on Stats Plus, like and do like a decade of like the 2040s and like the draft history, Corey after Jenner and Dustin, who each had like stupid drafted work. Corey's third. Corey can fucking draft. He will be back sooner than you think, and it'll be from like some bullshit guys. The same way that like Stanton Rosenberg, he drafted in like the 3rd round and then was like a top 10 spec in like 4 months. Corey will find a bunch of guys like that, and he will be back very, very soon. Corey's not someone I would want to have in my division, and he's going to probably go in the 3rd because you're like, oh, there'll be 4 shitty seasons of him, but then you're just going to get slammed by Corey with like some bullshit for like the next 11 years afterwards, because he makes the playoffs and he's a damn good GM. So I would hate to have Corey.
It's an interesting debate. The other team that, Carlos brought up a couple of times here is KC. I agree with D-Rich. If I'm a drafter, I don't want anything to do with KC in my division. I don't want that wild card. And I think that actually helps him. It's like the inverse Portland Tyler problem. Like, really, it is.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's so nuts actually gains him rounds of this draft. I mean, by performance alone in this league, that man doesn't deserve to survive the second, and I won't hear
No,
I mean,
he never makes the playoffs. Like,
and so, and yet he's nearly guaranteed to survive the second. People are talking about this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, and yet it really is inverse Portland Tyler. Portland Tyler will go earlier than he should because people like him. Casey
100%.
Matt will go later because people want nothing to do with that.
All right,
Okay, guys.
let's we got
One
about
more
5 minutes.
question.
Yeah, okay, go ahead,
Who-
Jason. You do yours, and then I'll do mine.
Who is, if you had the last pick in the draft, who is your pick?
The New York Yankees. What do you mean? What?
You can't
like
pick yourself.
Colorado, easy for me.
Colorado,
No.
bingo.
San
He-
Fran or
Yeah,
California.
either of those would be my last pick.
Yeah.
I would go Rockies because of the ballpark, and I thought about this because of the spreadsheet. Ballpark. You don't want that ballpark every fucking year.
Well, and he
All I
cooks the
will-
books, so
All
Yeah.
I'll say about
And
Kiefer-
he's a killer. So
all I'll say about Kiefer is that, like, of the GMs that I listed, like California, San Francisco, I think Kiefer's the most likely to be willing to rebuild. And so you
100%.
might want that over somebody else because there might be shit years before, like, all these god tier years.
all right. I got two segments I want to do before we start.
okay.
Yeah.
This one should be quick. Just where do you guys think you'll be drafted? Just a rough guess within a couple spots or something. I'll go first. I think I will be drafted 3.3 or 3.4.
You're being too humble. 4th round. You will
That's
be.
fair. I don't know. I don't have much of a farm, and my dudes are old, and my team scares me, honestly. But
I do not think that I'll go next and just say that I do not think that from 2030 through 2060 that the Philadelphia Trent has been a bottom 6 GM in this league. I don't think that's an accurate portrayal of the statistics. Now, right now, the Phillies are in a rebuild, and do you need to take that into account? Of course you do. And so I'll say somewhere between 1.4 and 2.5 is where I'll be picked.
Jason, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'm probably a 4th round pick. I like if I'm the 4-1 or the 4-6.
I disagree.
I think I go in the 4th. Just my opinion. If I go in the 3rd.
yeah, that's why it's yours. Yeah, you get to pick.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jacob, where do you think you're gonna get picked?
I think I should be a 5th round pick, but I think Amin or D-Rich is going to take me in the 4th for.
I really hope
the
Sam.
walls.
I think Sam is going to gobble. He's taking you in the 3rd. That's my
Nobody
wet dream.
Taking me in the 3rd round would be so fucking stupid. That's just
I
a
would love
throw.
for Sam to do that, and I'm begging Sam right now, take the Yankees in the 3rd, please.
He's not
Okay.
nobody. If you take me in the 3rd, you're a moron. That's stupid.
All right, we have sub 2 minutes. The last segment that I want to do. One team that will get drafted too early and one team that will get drafted too late.
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob. We'll start with you since you did last.
One team that'll get drafted too late is probably San Diego. They're like prime set for a rebuild, and people overrate the shit out of JP. A team that'll get taken too early is probably. Ooh, I'm just scrolling through the members list. That's tough. Probably, I'm gonna say Corey actually, just because I think people are gonna see him in a rebuild and the recency bias, and they'll take him too early.
I'll go. Yeah, that was my pick too for taking too early is Corey. My pick for taking too late is actually Brandon.
Oh, that's a good That's a good choice.
I
like
don't think
that.
Brandon has had success for like 30 years. I think he's riding off like early success.
Yeah.
And I don't think his franchise is in a great spot. So anyway, go ahead, Trent.
All of these are good choices. I'm gonna double down. Portland Tyler, Kansas City Matt.
Nice.
So you think Tyler goes too early, and Casey goes too late?
Yep.
Nice.
Tyler goes
Recency bias, folks. Recency bias.
That is fair.
I could throw in my big three of don't overrate the farm of Pittsburgh, Fresno, Cleveland too. I think all those teams are going to be taken too late. If those teams survive the first, somebody screwed up.
All right, Jason,
So,
this is it.
I'm going to go a little bit outside the box. I'm going to go too late is the Angels. They missed the playoffs last year.
I was wondering when somebody was going to bring up Mikey.
And Mikey is checked out. He's kind of checked out, and he said that today. The Angels might go later than, like, I don't know where to put them right now because, like, they had a down year and they, and things didn't work last year. And, if he doesn't use the Rangers as a farm, what's up there? So I think the Angels could, stock might be on the, high end right now and gone too early. I'm going to go Cleveland. I think they're going to see his lack of success as, a reason to take him early. But I also think the farm is strong. So if Daryl puts it together quickly, you could have a problem. So.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's get this shit officially started.
Oh boy!
Let's fucking go.
Everybody, hold on to your butt.
I'm gonna ping the. I'm in the captain's channel. Woo! AJ is officially on the clock.
All right, the spreadsheet is fucking ready to go, man.
So the way we're gonna do this is
be the spreadsheet. I'm running with that.
We're gonna do the whole 3 minutes. Sorry, Trent. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want AJ's permanent nickname in Slack to be the spreadsheet. That's what I'm calling him from this point.
No, the 12 points.
View that as an announcement more than anything else. Like, you guys don't have to like it. I don't really care. So.
Dun 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 dun.
So I mean, we talked a lot about this 1.1, but
how does he know he's on the clock? Like, does he get pinged?
It's Boston.
Yes, I pinged him.
Zach, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I pinged him. Even if they tell me. So the idea is that the whole 3 minutes is to kind of talk about the previous pick once we get one going. I'm going to announce the pick and an optional blurb that the captain can say about why they picked them. I feel like there's a whole 3-hour pod post this that everybody could do to break down. But
yeah.
We'll for the first pick, obviously.
I want a 45-minute blurb about the spreadsheet. I want AJ to. He said he's not working right now.
Yeah.
Whether he's on a leave or whatever is going on with AJ. I want a 45-minute thing about this spreadsheet in Sky News tomorrow. So. Oh, I hear typing.
Yep, I'm just confirming. I have the first pick in hand.
Oh,
you know what?
I
guess we don't have to wait, right? The first pick, we can just get it done.
No, not at all.
Give it to us. I need this.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with the first
we forgot to boo him. He's like Roger Goodell. Damn it.
With the first selection in the Sky 3.0 Division Draft, I will bring up the fact sheet of the team that has gotten drafted. You will see it. The Chicago White Sox have selected the Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Fucking boss
I get
move
it.
there. We called it.
Poor Troy.
No, and this is not we're not trying to shit on Troy, but we're shitting on Troy at the same time.
We're shitting on Troy.
We have legit questions on if he's in over his head a bit, right? It's okay to have these questions. We like Troy, so
I feel like Troy's more likely to luck into a good season.
Dude, I love Troy. I love Yord.
Yord is a 2070 GM. I so agree with that. Yes.
All right, next up on the clock is Miami Sam. OTC on the clock.
I'll be real.
He's going to drop his
Dude,
job.
whoever Sam takes, that guy should scream in horror that the Marlins are going to tear them up every sim.
You are.
I don't hate this pick from AJ. Like, it's not a bad pick. It's not who I would have picked. Oh, that's funny.
I mean, Troy's done himself no favors with
he is
his
not.
recent stuff. And we keep shitting on him, and he keeps doing it and stuff. Like, I feel like he's getting advice from Zach, clearly.
Well, he makes an annual shitty trade with Zach every season. Like, the Tracy Dyer is just the cake, like the icing on the cake.
I think Zach might be the one too. So here you go.
I like Tracy Dyer. I don't know why he gets so much hate. Maybe he overpaid for him.
Like the contract is bad.
Who cares? Baltimore has a bunch of money. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's fine, but it's just like, Troy, what are you doing?
You gave up a real asset, and
he got a real asset though. Tracy Dyer put up real asset.
Like, give him a 5th rounder and call it a day. Like, you gave up a real asset that you could use. He got
a 6th rounder back in return.
Holy
I'm actually Team Troy now. This is a good elite Orioles trade. The Twins.
Oh, come on, Jacob.
I have some comments. I have some comments on Tracy Dyer in a moment. Let's see who the Marlins take.
All right, the pick from. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's gotta be Zach.
According to the Marlins, the pick are in. So
the pick is in. With the 2nd selection in the division draft, the Miami Marlins have selected the Minnesota Twins.
That one, he's screaming his heart out right now in his apartment, and his fiance like, Zach, what's wrong, baby?
No, Zach has been begging for some reason to be in Sam's division forever.
He was.
Zach wanted this. Yeah, he did.
Was in Sam's division. He was the Orioles. He knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and he's stupid.
Oh, you know what? I forgot.
Again,
sorry.
I don't care. All right, Tracy Dyer. Here's my 30-second thing on Tracy Dyer. First of all, I don't have any problem with Tracy Dyer. I got bad news for everybody. This guy's pretty good. Number 2, he's a terrible fit for Baltimore. No power, no eye. Those are the 2 things you need in that park. You want guys on base and guys who can hit home runs, so that the guys that are on base score when those guys hit home runs. That's this guy's first 2 worst bars. He's a speed, contact, avoid K's guy on the Baltimore team. It's bad. That's all I got.
Marlins have taken a recent SCS champion in the 1st round.
Oh
man!
Now
keep up with...
let's praise Zach a little bit. He does have the number 2 ranked farm. Zach can build a farm.
I've heard this shit before. Oh, farms win championships. They don't.
Well, I'm trying to be positive here, guys.
Farms are stupid, and I want to drown.
Zach can build a farm. Its execution is the problem, and I think Zach will agree with that.
Who has the 1-3?
I think that's fair.
It's Craig.
Did you guys know Zach's all-time win record is .453?
Yeah,
that's on my screen,
bad, dude. That's really fucking bad.
It's funny because he was shitting on AJ, and AJ's is almost exactly 100 points higher. I think his is 554. So I would point that out.
No, this is so far. I do not. I think it's fair to say we have not seen a lot of surprises. Like I don't think any of this is a real shock.
And I think Craig hustled his ass up to the podium when he saw who the first 2 picks were for this one.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if he don't know who to take next.
So what you're saying is LA might be going across the country a couple times every other week, right?
Yeah.
That's a long flight.
They're going coast to coast quite often here with this pick.
If this isn't Boston, I would be surprised.
We don't have time.
I love Sam taking Zach because the Marlins are going to pound the Twins so bad.
For the next couple of years, for sure.
Yeah, no, for the next 10 years. Have you seen the Marlins roster? It's
yeah.
Who has
trust me when I tell you but I've spent far too many hours looking at the Marlins roster. In AAA, they have fucking guys. I mean, it's so irritating. I don't want to talk about Sam. I want to talk about the fact that he made a pretty decent pick here, and that Tracy Dyer is, Zach's right, a decent player, and Yord is wrong. He's a terrible fit in Baltimore.
All right, the pick for number 3 is in.
Oh, baby.
Ladies
Any surprises?
Well, we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, with the 3rd pick in the division draft, the Los Angeles Dodgers and Craig have selected the Boston Red Sox.
Makes some sense to me.
All
right. If D. Rich is listening, I'm pouring some Russell's Reserve for him in honor of his pick.
I think this is a no-brainer. I think
This
this
is
is clearly one of the 3 guys that you could take at the 1-1. No success in this league.
But has a higher win percentage than Zach, just saying.
That's shocking.
The bar is on the floor. That is shocking, however.
I mean,
that's embarrassing for
think
Zach.
the problem is that 41 years and he's made the playoff 3 times.
Yeah, that's rough.
That to me that is the most shocking stat.
Yeah.
And I took over a Detroit team that was similar to this. Okay. So 3 playoff appearances. Now he did play in the North, and there was Brandon, and Amin had a 30 years of fucking greatness. So I mean, he dealt with a lot of shit. Okay. But not to pull out double-digit appearances in the playoffs is shocking.
I have some ideas for D. Rich here. I think one of the 2 Andys could be called.
I hope to fucking God it's Andy Oaklandy, only because the rivalry is already there.
It's got to be 100% Oakland.
Oh, if now,
now I think that Philadelphia is a possibility here.
I think Pittsburgh is a real, because Atlanta and Pittsburgh has a fucking history, and he owes
but he doesn't
them a lot of shit.
He hates you.
We took Atlanta down so many fucking years, and now I'm not there anymore. Now he can just pounce on them. I'm telling you, it could be Pittsburgh.
There's a lot of good options here.
You're under the impression that he's maddened by the black and yellow. He's maddened by you. That is not
This is where the draft gets interesting, I think, a bit. I have an idea, I think, based on previous comments, but this is, I think, the first pick that is actually, like, going to have a question mark around it. So hopefully D-Rich gets something good to talk about.
D-Rich knows that. D-Rich knows that. And
I think Portland might be a spot here because they have a little bit of history too in Slack.
Yep.
So
I don't think D-Rich is afraid of taking Tyler. I agree with that.
I think he wants to take Tyler.
I don't think this is a Portland. I think this is an Oakland is my best bet. But like I wouldn't put it past him to take
I wouldn't be shocked to see him take Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't think the Brewers are a first pick.
I have a question. Rich is all about activity on Slack. How shocked are we if this is the Mets?
I'm not, because I really don't think Brandon's ever going to listen to this either. So, like...
you'd be surprised. He shows
really?
Up
Does he?
He shows up when it's important. He votes on stuff and all that. So
what happens if the clock runs out?
It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, the clock did run out, but with 1 second on the clock, we have the pick. Ladies and gentlemen, with the 4th pick in the division draft, the Atlanta Braves and Dr. Ick have selected. Got to take the Boston sheet off and put up the Milwaukee Brewers.
Wow!
Really call that. Yep.
I don't like this pick.
I love this pick.
This is a good pick because Andrew has not done. I'm sorry, Andrew. He hasn't done much, but like, this is fascinating because the Brewers are probably in the best spot that they have ever been in.
That's what I'm saying.
Sky right now. But the long-term outlook here for the Brewers is like there's a long tenure of like not much. So it's hard to disagree with this pick.
I disagree that this is the best the Brewers have ever looked. The Brewers
they were good in the early 2010s.
Games. Yeah. Really like 5 times, I'll bet, in Sky history. This team went to 3 consecutive SCSs very early in Sky history.
Lost.
So
Brewers
I
are
think it was
stacked
4.
right now. The
I think it
Brewers.
was 4.
Have you looked at the Brewers? The Brewers got dogs.
I don't understand
I'm saying.
why trade the third
This
base?
is why,
Can anybody
to me,
explain that to me?
this is a playoff team. Like the Brewers were in the
Aspiring, I
playoffs, right?
Yeah, the Brewers were the 7 seed, the playoffs.
Now it was
the
the
Great
East,
Lakes.
but again, I think, and Jacob, on the last 2 pods, we
Yeah.
praised this team.
Yeah.
Like I know he dealt Kaiser
Yeah.
because of the contract, but
Yeah, why trade Kaiser? Isn't that a guy you keep?
well, I believe it was the contract.
Don't
Like he
like
wanted
it.
like $40 million. So
I don't
There's
like it. And he
a
just
lot of
suddenly signed
high-end
for less with
talents.
LA because LA extended him. Greg extended him.
I
Well,
think
Craig has bullshit voodoo magic going on. Like, don't
All of this
don't
is
fault Andrew
all of
here.
this is recency bias. This is a perfectly fine
It
pick.
is. It's 100% recency bias. I just look at the Brewers currently, and I see blue James Tones. I see blue Clement Christmas. I see blue Ben Conley. There's a lot of guys that are decent here. The bottom of their batting order is bad, but there's like guys on this team, and there's a couple teams I think that there's a lot less of. So like for D-Rich to make this pick, I don't hate it just because like he has such a long history and like knowledge of Sky to be able to make that pick and know probably how Andrew's gonna operate, but
Just want to point this
think
out
there
that
was-
Milwaukee
Go
will
ahead.
not be moving divisions. The
Oh, that's
division is
interesting.
getting renamed, but they're staying in the
Right.
former Great Lakes.
Hey, is the pick in from Dustin, or does he have 30 seconds left?
Yeah, no, he's still got 30 seconds.
Okay, fair enough. So
I'm sorry, it's been made in the captain's channel. But go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just saying that somewhere in here you're going to see the Phillies, and I would play the crap out in a league.
if Dustin
That'd be
takes
fine.
Portland here, Tyler might throw himself off. A cliff.
No.
Who wants to be in
Tyler's
division
such
with
a
Seattle,
good
bro?
sport. He would love it.
I don't
All
No,
right,
we
the
did-
pick is in, gentlemen.
Tyler's
Okay.
fine.
With
Tyler's
the
fine.
5th pick of the division draft, the Seattle Mariners and Dustin have selected the Philadelphia Phillies,
Oh.
who will go to the Alvarado division.
I think this is kind of where we pegged him at, right? Like kind of maybe a late first. So
I just want to hear Trent's thoughts here.
First
Trent.
of all, I love Seattle Dustin. Think he's a genuinely good human being. Easily one of the best 3 GMs in Sky history. And I will play my hearts out in the Alvarado division. Love me, my Arturo Alvarado. I think he might still be my pick for best starting pitcher in all of Sky history. You heard me above the 2 Mets.
Oh,
And
Wow.
so I love that. I think this is a little early for the Phillies. Again, if one of those Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Fresno teams survives the first round, everybody's screwed up. I stand by that. But I love Seattle Dustin. I'll happily play in that division.
no, Trent, I think this is kind of where we kind of had you
Yeah,
pegged. Like
I agree.
I said between
late
1-4 and
first,
2-4. So
I wouldn't be like Trent. I didn't think you were a top 3 or 4 pick, but it's
this
fine.
is so awesome, man. People
This
are like,
rocks.
I'm surprised.
just
Like,
say,
Oakland's
my
not
take-
there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
My take on
drown
the
Bean in that pool.
Phillies-
I'll tell you what, that motherfucker, he can go away.
My take on the Phillies, Trent, in my most honest opinion, is that you've kind of been in like a holding pattern the last 2 years, where you are non-committal to a rebuild, and perhaps you were a little diluted to your playoff hopes last year. There isn't necessarily the same amount of tenure. We're seeing 9 playoff appearances only on screen. I probably wouldn't have taken you here with who's available. However, I understand the rationale, and I think that
Right.
like
Yep.
the farm is a little soft, and I don't think you've committed hard enough to selling assets. So making this pick makes total sense to me right now.
So-
So
don't necessarily
Andy had the
disagree with
best
anything you're
response in
saying.
Slack. I don't know if you guys have, but it's
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
But
I want to throw a quick shout out to D-Rich, by the way. I would have taken a lot longer to do all the fact sheets for all the teams if he hadn't done the playoff appearances spreadsheet he did like a month ago or something. I used that entirely for the playoff appearances and the tenure of everybody. Otherwise, it would have taken me 3 times as long as it did. So, just wanted to put that out there.
So, has Amin made his pick, or is he?
Not yet. 30 seconds on the clock. Is he going to go
I
rogue?
I think this might be Pittsburgh.
In response to Jacob, the one thing that I will say, Jakob, is I think we're getting deluded into thinking the Phillies were trying to contend last year. The Phillies were not trying to contend last year. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, like, they were in a historically bad conference, and that was not the case. I also think we do our teams a disservice when you don't try to win, you get picked on for tanking.
Wow.
You do try for win, you get picked on for not committing to the rebuild. You guys got to fucking pick. And I don't mean that rudely, but I do mean it. You guys got to fucking pick. You don't
Ryan,
get it both
is this
ways.
a shocker? I heard you go, wow.
Yeah. It's about to get real, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew this goddamn motherfucker was gonna start getting. Announce it before someone gets spoiled in chat. Holy shit!
All right, well, we'll still. Amin has back-to-back picks, but we'll still give the 3 minutes per pick. So, with his first selection and the 6th overall, the final first-round pick of the division draft, the Toronto Blue Jays and Amin are welcoming to, and I quote, the 10+ WAR Rivera division, the Kansas City Royals. And I realized I just fucking spelled Matt's name wrong. Sorry, Matt, I forgot a T on your name.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
That's such a good pick. I got news for everybody. This is a good pick. This is a good pick. This is a good pick.
I love this.
It's awesome.
I love this.
This is a good pick.
Shit.
This is a good pick.
I really am surprised that this is so
Tyler
early,
next,
though.
I beg you. Take Portland Tyler next, I beg you.
With all of the beef between them with a Ted Ward player, to pick him with his first pick, this fucking rocks. I love this. Holy
I love
shit.
everything about this.
This is
nothing about this that I
in the
don't
first
like.
round.
It's just fucking
It's
great.
so sick.
Holy
I love everything about it.
And
So
honestly,
wonderful.
on his spreadsheet, Matt was number 1. Boom.
Oh yeah. Like he was throwing
I
darts
think
and
Amin
it was
wants to
just
win,
KC
guys.
the whole time. Yeah. Oh,
I think the
fucking
rumors of
love this.
his out-of-touchness are greatly exaggerated.
Oh, this is
I love
so
it.
good. I need to hear Casey Matt's opinion on this.
Well, he's been saying he's going to be a
immediately.
first-round pick, but I think he was full of shit. But man,
Yeah, he didn't believe it. He didn't think he would go in the first. Yeah.
I really thought his run would increase his D-draft
He's got
stonk
the stats of
Me
a first
too.
round pick.
Me
a little
too.
bit,
Okay.
even, right? But
I
got
love
stats
the
of first-
non-vote.
does he though? He almost has a
confidence.
500 win percentage. Like his playoff appearances are weak, but
Right.
Wanted to go
And,
1-1.
Like his roster is in a state of flux at every sim. So
I know it's so hard to gauge, man.
This is such a closet great pick by Amin. And what's fun, and Dustin brought this up, because again, Dustin's a genius. Amin now gets another pick. I don't know that. I think if you're a GM, this is the spot I want. I want 2 of the worst 7, as opposed to 1 of the
Yeah.
worst 6.
I thought this was going to
Probably.
be a tough spot, but he's going to potentially get 2 pretty
God,
weak
I mean,
teams.
think
I
who's
mean-
still out there. He can get
I mean-
Pittsburgh. He can go Pittsburgh now. He can go Portland now. He can go lots of different ways. He can go Fresno now. He can
the
go
Yankees,
the
it's,
Mets now.
boom.
Yankees, shut the fuck
No, just like to have the balls to do that, to take the Royals and the
It's-
Yankees.
It's
Amin's
so
got some
good.
big ass balls.
Amin is. I'll be very. It'll be a bad pick to take the Yankees here, but I'm right that he can go Portland, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Fresno. There's
Yeah.
so many. Oakland. There's so many ways to go here.
Absolutely. I love this. I love that this was the first like wild card pick off the board, and that he gets another pick to like back it up with somebody else if he wants. Like this is so good.
Well, let's find out what that pick was.
Please.
With the 7th pick in the division draft, the Toronto Blue Jays and Amin will welcome to the Rivera Division, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Will be joining.
No surprise.
The Kansas City Royals.
Loves his Pirates.
This is what I mocked. I mocked this pick here as like a 1.6, 2.1 here. Etten has talked multiple times about his Persian connection with Amin. I love that the two of them can bond over that. I think it makes sense to pick Pittsburgh here. This is a great pick. I think this is a good spot for that.
Pick.
Yeah,
a very good pick.
And there's a history.
I think you guys are
overestimating
Etten's
badness.
badness.
And the Pirates as well. So there's a lot of history there. So it makes sense. He's probably not going to be good for 2 more years minimum. So, keep building that farm.
I am still flabbergasted. People are buying this much into the A's, Cleveland, Fresno. I don't get it.
The A's were good last year.
Yeah, it's recency bias.
Recency bias.
Can we talk about Pittsburgh for a second? Because I think this is a fascinating one. Because Pittsburgh hasn't done much. He made some weird trades in like his first off season once he took over from Jason of like trying to compete. He's since built a good farm. I've had some trade talks. He made some weird trades when he thought he was like in it. So it's like a very odd team. It's like a huge wild card on where he lands. So this could either be like a terrible pick or a good one. We have no clue yet. So
I loved his colonoscopy trade, by the way. I thought it was great to get rid of that fucking guy. That guy's going to be hurt his whole entire career.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, as a seller, he's been great. So I think he's learned. I think he was kind of just too in tune with, like, 24.
Maybe. I think that I mean, again, Gene Poole continuing to show he was born in the shallow end. Totally wrong about it being
Gene Puddle.
Yes.
Belly flop. It's not a pool
so
ball.
Terrible. It's such a good. I think this is a perfectly reasonable set of 2 picks by Amin.
100%.
Nothing wrong with this.
I think it's a home run.
I don't have any problem with this. Don't have any problem with it at all. Don't have any problem with it at all.
Looking at it so far, I mean, getting Kansas City and Pittsburgh in your division right away.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good bottom.
Nothing wrong with
start
that
for now.
At least for the next like 5 years.
Oh wait, this is Dustin again. I got to see who I'm playing with. All right.
Yeah.
Rooting for Portland Tire here. Thank God that that's off the board. I don't have to play with that guy.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Okay, the pick is in. Let's go. I love this shit.
Baby,
how do you guys not want to do this every 10 years? No, we're doing a 15. 15's perfect.
Every
all right,
3
ladies
years,
and gentlemen. Every 3 years, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with the 2nd pick in the 2nd round of the division draft, the Seattle Mariners and Dustin will welcome to the Alvarado Division the Indianapolis Ignition.
Ooh. Interesting.
Now,
you know what? That is the best word for that pick. Interesting.
Now,
wow.
You gotta dig deep on this one because Ignition are probably going into a hard rebuild.
They are, yeah.
And that's a really good question. If they're going into a hard rebuild, is this a closet genius pick?
I think so. I think this might be. This is interesting. We don't know how Josh rebuilds, but I think they're going to be set on that. I'm not sure how well he's drafted. This is interesting. I like this. You've probably got like a pocket of like at least 5 years. Josh has made some good trades to keep the window open for Indy in the Great Lakes, but like how they rebuild is going to be fascinating to watch because I think that's where they're headed. So this is neat. I like this pick a lot if I'm Dustin.
I do too. I like it. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
Josh,
what I think is interesting is that Josh has pretty good instincts. he
Okay.
correctly had the instinct that this team could contend
Yeah.
with what Jenna left him, and now he's correctly got the instinct that it's time for a rebuild.
Yep.
And I think his instincts are pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
But even if all that's true, and Josh is actually pretty good at this game, and will eventually build Indy back into a winner again, all of which I'm more than willing to accept, it's not going to happen for 5 years. And so Dustin has 5 years here
Yeah.
of a team in this division that isn't going to be very good. So
Trent,
I like
Josh
it from a lot
Deere is now in your division. I
don't-
think that's awesome.
I don't hate it. Don't hate it at all.
Seattle, Philly, Indianapolis. This is a fun looking division here if Indy can start a good sell off. I like this.
So
Yep.
if Portland doesn't go here now to D-Rich with their man crush,
I don't think I
Yeah.
don't think this is Portland. I don't think this is Portland.
Can Portland
is-
make it
This
through
is-
the second round too?
I think so. I think
Holy
so. And I think
shit.
it's crazy.
Oaklandy.
I was gonna say I think this is Oakland or I think this is the Mets here.
all good calls. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
think it's
gonna stick-
Oakland.
If you guys are
gonna
finished
stick
with
with-
your, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna stick with Oaklandy. Go ahead.
All right, the pick is in. We seem to have exhausted our talk about the ignition, so let us get to the pick with the third pick in the second round. The Atlanta Braves and D-Rich will welcome to the Torres division. You know it. You love it. I'm excited as fuck. The Oakland Athletics.
There we go. Yeah. This
The
felt
rivalry
inevitable.
is
I
now
love
legitimized.
this. This is great. This is so good that the two of them are gonna get to go head to head now.
It really is just good old fashioned hatred, and I love everything.
Yeah. Yes.
So what we're seeing here is that the captains are being smart, but they're having fun at the same time. And this is what
100%.
this was all about. Is
Yep.
that and my a tip of the cap to all six so far. You guys are making smart
Yep.
picks and you're having fun at the same time. I love it.
Wait, D-Rich did
Yeah.
get both Andys. Hilarious.
I know. It's
the
the
Andy
Andy and D-Rich
division.
division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call one of them Amos just for laughs. Like, I'm
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, look, I don't think there's another team that's had really more bad luck than Oakland. Have been kind of like the last like two sims of the last few years have just had bad sims and missed out. So to say that Oakland's a bad team, I think we'll all agree. Oakland's a pretty nice looking team. They
100%.
played in the West.
Yeah,
And
I have a
the
bit of a
rest
hot
of the world.
take. I think about 10 or 15 years ago is really when D-Rich really started to shit on Andy, and I think he's gotten better than he used to be, and I think he's starting to figure out how to put a ball team in that shitty ass stadium. So
this pick is fascinating because like the way D-Rich is drafting is like very hard pressed on like historical shit of like Milwaukee was bad for a very long time. Oakland was bad for a very long time. Both of these teams have like a lot of elite talent. Like Rafael Oconto,
is there a
they
better
just
division?
drafted
Is there a
arguably
better
the
division
best
right now
pitcher.
than D-Rich's? Like, think of those three.
Not
teams.
right now. No, not right now. Like Rafael Oconto is arguably the best pitcher in the league, and
It's either
D-Rich
him or
just
Cooper. Yep.
drafted him on purpose in the second round.
And the
That is
Brewers have a
crazy.
good rotation.
Of the depth is weak, and so it's a weird
Yeah.
scenario because of it, right? Where like D-Rich is going off of historical stuff and like the long-term history, which I don't disagree with. I think that's a fair play, and I probably, if I was in his shoes, would have done the
I
same.
agree with the play. Very much so. Yep.
However, for like the next like 2 years, next 3 years, this might be a tougher division than like the rest of them to start because like Milwaukee has some top tier talent. So then you have to like D-Rich is assuming that like Andrew and Andy will fumble it, right? And fuck things up along the way.
yeah, these are historical like
Yeah.
success picks for sure. So
Yeah.
all right, the pick from Craig is it has been in for a while, but the timer is running out. So let's get to the next pick in the Pawns division. I haven't said that yet.
Okay.
This has to be Portland, right? For fuck's sake, he's falling.
I don't think
The
it's Portland. It's
Los
Mets.
Angeles Dodgers with the 4th pick in the second round. Welcome to the Pawns division.
Cleveland
Is going to be the Portland Hops.
There we go.
Ooh, Tyler.
2 Tylers in the same. Oh
yeah,
my
2
lord!
Tylers in the same division. Holy
2
moly!
Andy's, 2 Tylers.
Tyler. The,
2
Here we
girls,
go.
1 cup.
oh,
Wait, what?
I love the fact.
Wait,
Plus, he sniped Sam. I'm so excited. Look at that. He
I-
sniped
I
Sam.
believe-
Oh,
I believe the West is becoming the new East. Look, you got Yort, Boston, Portland, Ignition, and the Trents. I mean,
Damn.
I'm just saying.
I like this. I like this pick a lot. It makes sense. There is not a division, now that I've been drafted, I can say this. There's not a division I wanted to be in less than Craig's. I'd have rather played with Sam. I mean, I'm used to it. I might as well stay. So I think
Tyler
that guy
the
is
Tyler.
disturbingly good at the game, and I wanted nothing to do with him.
disturbingly good
So-
is a good way to put it. Disturbingly good.
And also, Tyler should be happy he was a second round pick. Like,
Probably.
yeah, because I mean, he probably could have been a first. He fell to the second. He should be pretty happy about that. I'm trying to be positive.
Trying to be positive here, guys.
Trying to be positive. How do you
No,
feel about the
and then
Portland
look,
farm?
But
I know Tyler, like, glazes it every day,
He's
but-
self-aware
Yeah.
of his outlook. So I'll give that to Tyler. He understands the game. He knows when it's time to rebuild. He knows when the rebuild's not going well. So he's self-aware of how to build a team. So he just, he made an SCS. So
He did. There's a history there. There's an
hey,
SCS
there are
appearance.
now a handful of guys that have not. So he at least has
There
that on his
might not
resume.
There might not be 5 GMs I root more for than Tyler.
Oh, 100%.
Portland
That's like
Tyler.
number one guy I check after my own team is what the Hop Sim looks like. Yeah.
All right, this next pick is in. If you guys are ready,
I'm ready.
It's Miami, so whoever it is, he should scream at the top of his lungs, "Please don't be me."
this is something.
Cleveland.
This is somebody that we didn't talk about, and
Fresno.
I was wondering when they were gonna go.
Ooh.
All right,
Maybe Houston?
so with the
Oh,
fourth
Sterling.
pick,
Chicago
fourth
Cubs.
pick in the second round. No, sorry, the
Jeff.
5th pick in the second round. Welcoming to the Sparrow division. Would be the best player in our league if it wasn't for Alex Rivera. Just saying. Not Portland. It is going to be. What are you doing, Chicago,
Ooh.
Jeff?
Well, yeah, I called it, Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
So what is Jeff doing? We don't know. He almost made the playoffs somehow.
The Cubbies have a lot to look forward to. I like the
Agree.
Cubbies' future. Jeff, however, hasn't historically been that guy to string together multiple playoff appearances at a time. So I think this is a reasonable spot for him here.
Jeff has made an SCS on
Really?
his resume.
Yeah, the Cubs did go to one. Yeah.
Jacob, I kind of agree with you on Jeff. I have some fun with him on the pods. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, and like I like that he's rebuilding, and he almost got it. Like he was in first place for a lot of the year.
He
Yeah.
has some sexy players, I will say, though.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it kind of came out of nowhere because I believe Trent on the pod we picked the Cubs for last. So for them to be a division leader for half the season was quite a surprise. So
Speaking of guys that I root for, this is another one. Love Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff is
Love
great,
him, love
man.
him, love him.
100%.
Love him,
yeah,
love him, love him.
it's hard to like, how could you root against the Cubs?
Yep.
My former
Um,
team, I have a soft spot for them. Every year, I'm like praying, "Come on, Jeff, do it, baby."
The Cubbies have arguably the best hitter in the league in
Mhm.
Ethan Wolf.
Ethan
That
Wolf,
guy
the alpha.
is
Yep.
fucking. Wait, is that actually his nickname?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
Jeff changed it, yeah. And
That
rightfully so.
fucking rocks.
that guy would hit 8th on the Marlins, though. I mean, come on.
This
Okay,
is
well
one
you
of the
can't compare
best
to Marlins.
top 10 hitters in the league at bare minimum, probably top 5. This guy's insane. I think Jeff has
This
started
guy's
to put it
sexy as shit,
together.
and first of all, Ethan Wolf is sexy as shit. And if it's true that that Jeff picked that nickname, it's like the best nickname in Sky.
It is.
Mhm.
That is
It
so
is.
good.
Yeah.
Alpha? That's
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that I don't like. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I'm like clicking through the Cubbies right now, and I see Jason Sear. He looks great. Antoine Ferrer looks really good. Josh Wolf looks amazing. JP Porras looks really fucking good. And so I don't have enough repertoire to know if this is like how the Cubs have looked out of rebuilds in the past and have squandered it. But where they are right now feels pretty damn good. So we will see. But I think this is fair, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
All
hate
right, the
this
next-
pick, but I hate
Go ahead.
and I don't hate the Cubs.
Next pick is in with the final
What
pick in
does
the
the
second
spreadsheet say?
round. Yeah,
Is this
with the
2 from
spreadsheet choice.
AJ?
This is the final pick in the second round from Mr. AJ, joining the White Sox and the Orioles in the Sandoval division.
All
Cleveland.
right.
Is going to
This-
be the New York Mets.
I
Okay.
can see that one. I can see
Yeah,
that
this
one
makes
easily.
sense. Yeah.
He kind of was the next one to fall in line. So
The spreadsheet hasn't failed him yet. This feels like a very fair pick at this range.
I mean,
yeah,
does it? Guys, Fresno's on the board?
So
Cleveland's
yes,
still on the board?
but
Yeah,
the
but
Mets
these guys are
don't
coming out of
have
rebuild,
much
so-
going on for them. They just
Dan, I
didn't
love you, but Vegas
really-
is still on the board?
The Mets aren't active, so that's a downer. They actually have like 7 top 100 guys, which is more than I thought they did. On
and
my
he just
thing.
sold his best player.
So maybe
Also-
they're closer than I thought, but Brandon, I trust to do the game well at some degree, but I feel like there's going to be a whole bunch of like 70, 65 win seasons while they wait of just like nothingness. So this feels fair to me.
So
This is the winningest GM by far that has gotten drafted. A 531 lifetime win percentage, 32 playoff
Again,
appearances.
a lot of that was in the first 20 years.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah, that's totally
So
fair.
I will say this: he's going to have a shit ton of draft picks coming up in the next 2 years in that Reds deal. So he basically got a 1 through 5 in two straight years. So
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
he got prospects in that. I don't remember the prospects, but it was a mega deal.
Yeah.
And this is probably a 5-year rebuild minimum, and more assets can be, if he has more assets, can go. I don't know who would finish. I think you put Brandon in 6 right now
It's
in his
interesting.
division.
I remember that trade happening, and I don't think I put it on Slack or anything. And I went, you know what? That's a sexy trade both ways.
Yeah.
Good job by both those GMs. Like really, good job by both those GMs. In a real way, it's amazing. We live in a world where Brandon was selected for Fresno and Cleveland. Are we okay with this world? We're sure.
No, I honestly
I think
no.
those
Now
teams
that
are
you
about to
bring
come off
those
the
two up,
board. I think those teams are going to be in the next handful of picks. But
if
Well,
those
and
aren't the
unless-
next
and
two off
I
the
think this
pick,
is a
yeah.
Unless
right now,
AJ
I don't-
if AJ takes one of them here, fine. But if AJ doesn't, I'm sorry, it's a mistake.
it's not AJ
Sorry,
picking it, it's a spreadsheet.
Yep. Oh, okay. I was gonna say yeah, it's AJ, but yeah, okay, I see what you're going for. The spreadsheet. All right, AJ is typing out his pick. It looks like.
Like you had mentioned Cleveland and Fresno. I think those should arguably be the next 2 picks. And if they
I
aren't,
am shocked
I'm having
Fresno
a-
made it to the 3rd round.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my-
fuck.
oh,
Okay.
oh, Detroit.
Here we go.
Detroit.
All
AJ,
right,
you son of a bitch.
ladies and gentlemen.
Houston,
With-
it's a closet guess.
With the first pick in the third round of the division draft and joining the White Sox, Orioles, and Mets in the Sandoval division is going to be somebody who will take this extremely well, I'm sure. The San Diego Padres.
Oh, hey,
Oh my God.
AJ is drafting so fucking smart right now.
I love this. I love this. You will not
This
dominate.
spreadsheet's a fucking genius. No, think about this. AJ has no, like, once the Padres are done, and they could be done soon.
They're gonna be done this year. They're already cooked. They're already cooked. This is actually great. Yeah. Oh,
No,
JP's gonna
I
have
think
a
the Padres
meltdown.
are probably a playoff team, but like that check is getting written next year. Like he already knows he's cooked. So
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. That's
He's convinced that he's not rebuilding, and I'm looking at his fucking future outlook and his salary, and that team has to rebuild. He's got nothing here.
yeah, like he sold every prospect he had, and
Yeah.
that's what JP does. Like he goes all in, and you know I think he did make an SCS, so like he did make it all the way. He didn't win. That's fine. But that's what JP does. That's what a lot of teams, if you're going to try to win, fucking sell everything. I don't have a problem with it.
JP was the original tanker, honestly, like back in the early 2010s. Literally,
He's
he
good
Jennered
at
his
it.
shit before Jenner did it, yeah.
Yeah,
I defy you to name a better tanker and contender.
Oh
than
shit, sorry JP.
Or Tarlow.
I mean, I like to
There are
think I'm in
zero.
that realm, but
Well, that's what I said. It's JP or Tarlow. There are no other contenders. Like really none. Nobody's as good at it. Nobody.
No, 100%. JP drafts well. He does, and he like understands how to elevate teams, and when he like is in a rebuild, how to get assets. But like he's been adamant. I've been yelling at him for 2 seasons that he needs to rebuild, and he's been like adamant that he's retooling. And this team doesn't have it. They're cooked. And so I think this is a fine pick because of it. This would not have been my pick, I will say that. But knowing that you will get at least 7 out of the next 15 seasons with like a rebuilding Padres as they go like so deep into the fucking tank realm.
Balls deep, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That I don't hate the rationale for it.
This is a 15-year thing. You're honestly telling me the Padres are going to be worse over the next 15 years than the Cleveland Indians?
No, I'm
or
not.
The Fresno Falcons.
No, like Cleveland would have been my pick, and the fact that Fresno is still on the board is fucking insane.
I think they're looking at the young teams in Cleveland and Fresno and saying that team can be a contender in 1 season.
So is this a recency bias pick of
again?
Like,
I think you have to take that into as a factor of who am I drafting and how am I competing right now versus the future. JP's on the way down. Those other teams are kind of ascending. So, like it's how you view how you want to play against 5 other guys.
Fellas,
I want to bring up.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll give you 1 second to. Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you talking to? I want to bring up
finish your thought.
that I expected to see here is that was Houston. Go for it.
Okay. All right. The pick is in. The clock is run out, and with the second pick in the third round of the division draft,
please don't be Detroit.
Sam and the Miami Marlins are going to bring to join in the Sparrow division with the Twins and the Cubs. It is going to be the man with 2 first names, Mr. Dan Frank and the Las Vegas Knights.
There he is.
Dan, I'm so sorry, buddy. Zach, Jeff,
love this Sparrow division. You get
I am so sorry.
Zach, Jeff, and Dan in the same division. This is like a real fun division. I love this.
Oh God, yes.
I call this the get off my lawn division. This is Jeff fucking yelling at all these young memers. Like, stop with that GIF of yours.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. the vibes in this division go crazy.
I think the Knights are on the upswing. I took a little peek at their team. After I got eliminated out of the playoffs, and I was surprised at how good the lineup looked all of a sudden. So I think this is a team on the upswing. I'm just sorry that you're with the Marlins.
Yeah, that does suck.
I mean, he's second place. I mean, right now, he's got second place.
He does get the shit on Zach, which is going to be pretty cathartic.
Yeah,
that is 100%.
I'm so sorry, Dan. I'm so sorry.
I hate everything
my
about
favorite.
This.
Go ahead, sorry, Trent.
I hate everything about this. I will tell you that I still can't believe Fresno and Cleveland are out there. It
100% recency
blows
bias.
my mind. But I'm moving on from that. I will tell you a true story. I just finished direct messaging Dustin saying, hey, can we bring in Dan Vegas to this division if he's around over the next couple of rounds? And Dustin said, hey, look, he's on the list, man. I'm here for you. And then of course, Sam takes him. So fuck you, Sam. You're not in my division anymore. I already pretend like you're fucking ass. He's a shit fuckwad. God almighty. All right, are we do a pick here? I'm sorry, I dominated the conversation.
No, we got time.
No,
We got
this
over
is
a minute
great,
left still,
yeah.
and no pick has been relayed to me yet. So
So-
Craig is he's
What do you
in the
think?
tank right
I
now.
think this is a spot for Houston.
I mean,
I think
I got a
no.
team for you guys to talk about. I am kind of surprised nobody's picked St. Louis or Texas at this point.
No.
Ooh, the Cardinals. The Cardinals have slipped through the cracks.
I
A
don't think
little
you
bit.
can justify
And
taking
again,
I think
obviously the
Cleveland or
Fresno, like
Fresno.
Michael seems like a very competent dude, but he has zero to fucking work with, or had
Yeah,
anyway.
the fact that he's slipped through to the third round here, or the fourth round here, is third round. Sorry,
Third
is
round,
fucking
yeah.
insane. Yeah,
It's ridiculous. It's a mistake. Him and Cleveland. I would take both of them before I take Houston, and I would take Houston before I took St. Louis or Texas.
Now-
That's just me.
Now, I'm just looking at who's coming up on picks. What if D-Rich pairs up Andrew and Sterling?
I would love that.
Ooh,
I've
yeah, that
been
would be
begging
cool.
for that to be the case for like ever, is to try and get Daryl and Ryan together.
No, don't
And
put me in
to-
that fucking division. His team looks way too good.
I want Cleveland and Vancouver together, and I want Milwaukee and Houston together. I think that would be great. That would be amazing to get those guys together. So I hope
right.
those guys can rationalize it
Like-
if it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
if it makes
gotta
sense, that's
believe
cool.
that this is the Cardinals, right?
All right, the pick
No,
is in.
They
no,
flipped
no.
the cracks
Pick
here.
is in. Why did it go to 259? Okay. The pick is in for the fourth team that joined the Pawns division and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Craig has selected in the third round, the third pick, the 3.3. Joining these fellows is going to be one of us brothers, but it's going to be the Cleveland Indians.
It's a good pick.
Very good pick. Yeah, Craig is fundamentals here. Like, these are post up, like block out, get rebounds kind of picks here. Like, there's
I
no
agree.
fucking
Yep.
fadeaways or 3-pointers. Like, this is just good fundamental shit right here with your picks. Daryl hasn't done jack shit in Sky. Like, let's call a spade a spade. There's like 2 playoff appearances here, a 447 win percentage. The fact that he's gone so long is based entirely on how willing he is to go deep into a rebuild on a farm. But like, he hasn't made, I would say, the best trades in that, and he hasn't found success out of his last rebuild. So getting him here is like really fucking nice.
I like the way you
Well,
word this. All
I
of Craig's
feel
picks-
like his rebuilds would be better if he looked at the injury report before the draft. Like, he doesn't look at that list. I'm sorry.
This Dodgers
the-
division is fucking insane right now. They
Dude,
have the Red
dude,
Sox, the Hops, and the Indians. The Dodgers are gonna win 1,000,000 games
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year.
Now,
I'd like to be in
now
that
the-
division now. Yeah.
Yeah, like
You can
Craig,
take me now,
can
Craig.
you draft me? Craig, draft me in the 4th round, please. I will willingly go early to get
The
the
Indians
Sox,
are on the
Hops,
up.
and
I think,
Indians.
but he called up like an entire roster last year.
Yeah,
so
it's 2 years away, and they're going to be in there.
Like there's some growing pains there, but I think there's a good young roster there.
I don't trust Daryl enough to actually make it work.
Yes.
He hasn't proven that the last time around.
He has told me the secret sauce to his drafting injured guys recipe, but I'm not going to spill the beans, obviously. But he does have a method to the madness, is what all I'll really say about that.
Ryan,
I agree with
Ryan.
The way
you didn't spell his name. There is an H in there.
I'm not going to call. He's my brother. Best. I don't want angry texts.
The way Jakob put it was best. The way Jakob put it was best. This is not I'm going to draft based on a spreadsheet with like multiple averages. It's just a fundamental block out, get the rebound sort of draft picks, and he's done a good job. It's the best way to view it.
You guys see how he is when he's rebuilding, how spicy he is. Wait till he starts winning shit, man.
Could D-Rich take
GIF
Steve,
after GIF?
And could Steve and D-Rich and Andy be in the same division?
Oh, Lord, man.
I think if
Andy and Steve get along, too.
I think if Houston is there, D-Rich takes him, I'll move on.
Well, let's find out.
D-Rich is on the clock, yeah. Let's see what he does.
The pick is in, and joining the Braves, Brewers, and Athletics in the Taurus division with the 4th pick in the 3rd round of the division draft. I got to take Cleveland off first. Is going to be some brotherly love as the Houston Astros.
Yes,
will join.
Totally called that.
That is so sick.
I love that.
That's a good guy picked by D-Rich.
Dude,
yes.
I shit on him, but I love these 4 picks or these 3 picks. I don't like Andrew. I think the Brewers have a good roster. I don't think he's a first round pick myself, but pairing up him and Sterling and then Andy, I think that division is going to be pretty fun to watch. So.
Yeah,
I hope they talk shit to each other on Slack, right? I'm sure they probably privately DM, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
Andrew, call your brother out on Slack, man. I've heard he loves dealing with your shit, man. That's what he said.
Houston hasn't found any success on this iteration of the game. So, like, in terms of, like, the actual where they are drafted, I don't think it's a bad pick. Houston was really good at the end of, like, Out of the Park 24 when I joined. Their team was so cool. It was just, like, elite defenders everywhere. They hit the ball decent enough. They made an SCS. They lost. But they were, like, a damn good team, and Sterling hasn't really figured it out on this iteration, but, like, there's enough there that it's, like, hit or miss. You got a guy that it makes total sense to pick with. I love this as a pick with context, so...
I like Houston because he's a grinder. Like, Sterling he's in the fucking trade block, like, all the time, looking to like, eke out any kind of value for guys. Like, he's
the
grinding,
king of the shit block. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
He will take an 8th round pick for anybody.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
How do we feel about Houston going before Fresno? Is this just like there's no repertoire here? This feels crazy that Fresno is still on the board.
I'm a little surprised.
Michael fucked up by sounding so smart when he joined. He should have fucking acted like a dork.
Everybody is afraid of Whitson, right?
I mean, but they have the farm depth is nothing compared to other teams.
I'm not gonna lie. I gotta believe Steve goes here to Dustin.
No, this has to be Fresno. There's
I'm
really no.
Looking at the teams left, it has to be Fresno. Yeah.
Dustin, Steve, and Trent is the MAGA division if you're in the politics. I'm telling you right now.
And Josh is just Canadian, like, all right, you guys do you, yeah. I would not be shocked to see Texas get taken, man. I don't know. They look good and young, but I think they've had such bad luck. All right, the pick is in.
Oh, let's go. Oh,
okay.
Baby.
Well, it's not any of what we said. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
All right. With the did I fucking messed up here? Yeah, I forgot to type Houston down here. My bad. Okay, so with the 5th pick in the 3rd round of the division draft, joining in the what are you pick? Don't ping me randomly, dummy. In the Alvarado division, joining Seattle, Philly, and Indianapolis is going to be nobody has said this team's name all night long. The Virginia Black Bears.
Wow.
Ooh.
Under the radar.
Interesting.
Birdo. I think this is a fair spot for them. This wouldn't have been my pick, but they've had some struggles out of their rebuilds, giving out long-term contracts to guys like Ray Cook. I think
he got totally
Birdo's
fucked
drafted,
on that.
He did, 100%.
Cook
I
looked
agree.
great when he signed that deal. He got totally giga-fucked.
Yeah, Fresno's 1 pick away from the 4th round. Holy shit.
Wow.
That's fucked. Birdo.
I would love if the Yankees
finds
went
weird
before them.
ways
I
to
would lose my
win.
shit, but that's just me.
Birdo finds weird ways to win, and I respect the shit out of him for it. And he's drafted very well on this version of the game. So, but they had a down year. How they look in the future, I think, is totally up in the air. So I don't hate this pick because of it. Wouldn't have been mine, but I'm totally okay with it.
I'm flabbergasted that Fresno's out there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
I mean, there's no way.
this is
There's no way they survive these 2 Amin picks, is there? There's
No, there's no fucking way.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
No, I would. So Amin has back-to-back picks here. I think Fresno comes off the board, and I'm not gonna lie, I think Detroit's coming off the board here.
Detroit's 100% coming off the board. Yeah.
So Trent, you are reunited with Alberto, so that's nice.
I don't have any problem with that.
Alberto is low-key hilarious in Slack. I will give him that.
Oh,
He
he's
just
the best.
pops out of nowhere with
Yeah.
a one-liner, and
Yeah.
it cracks me up.
He's like the slack straight guy in the comedy act, right? Like he's
Yeah.
like the guy you don't expect to have the zinger, and then he does. Yeah, no. I like Berto. I like playing a division with him. I've heard that people don't like trading with him, which I don't have to worry about because I don't like to trade in my own division. And look, I still don't have to worry about it because he's still in my division.
I've never had it. I do want to clarify. Alberto has 2 rings. I fucked up his sheet. I'm very sorry. He has 2 championships recently too. It's not like they're old championships. I think 2040 he won one. So
he won 2 not all that far apart from each other, actually, right? Like they were both relatively recent.
I think maybe 10 or 15 seasons, but yeah.
Oh, they were that far apart? I would have had that.
I think so. I could be wrong. I thought it was in the late 20s and then the early 40s.
I think it's 2029 or 2028, and then yeah.
So let's just recap who's left. So we have the Cardinals, we have the Expos.
The Expos aren't going here.
Well, no, I'm just throwing the teams out there that have not been picked yet.
Yeah,
the pick is in. Well, let's take one off the board with his
Please.
first selection and the final pick.
Oh, it's got to be
in the 3rd round.
If it's not Fresno.
It is not Fresno. Joining the Rivera division with the Toronto Blue Jays, the Kansas City Royals, and the Pittsburgh Pirates is going to be the Texas Rangers.
Wow. So
wow.
This is this is a guy whose stock has fallen because kind of a one and done, right? He's fallen off the last couple years.
Recency bias to me. This is such recency bias.
But again, he's Angels Farm too.
What?
So I'm just saying that yes, he built up a mammoth team, but he fell off hard. So I can see why he
had 2 insanely unlucky years back to back. He posted some crazy shit on the trade block, but this is a bad pick. This is a terrible fucking pick. I'm not gonna lie. If they don't trade anyone, this is at the very least round 4. This is such an awful pick right now. Holy shit.
One thing that I will say for Amin is that can we imagine the personalities in this division? Sam's off his nut, and that's in a division with Kansas City Matt. Say it out loud. And Amin, this division. Oh my God.
This division, because now we're starting to get into what everybody perceives as competence, right? So he has 2 more picks, and we're projecting these guys to be competent, right? Like one of these picks is going to be a 5th round pick. So you're going to have to draft a good team. This division might be murder. So Amin,
the
I
out of
love
touch
you.
GIF or emoji is going to get used so much on Amin if this division turns out to be the slobber knocker that it looks like it could be.
This division might be murder. So this is where I want him to take Jacques. So
no chance, dude.
No, this is not happening.
I think he's. I mean, how are you not taking Steve here? Like Steve would be the perfect.
Steve is not the choice. It's Fresno. It has to be Fresno based on like you getting
are
like
definitely afraid of getting taken after Fresno. Or
why would I be? I'm not afraid of getting taken. What the fuck do you mean? Fresno being on the board and like heading into the 4th round is fucking insane based on where they
totally
are
agree.
right now.
Yeah, exactly. They're free wins right now. They're literally free wins.
Free wins. Like, if Pittsburgh is getting taken in the 2nd round, Fresno should have been taken right after based on the same rationale. Based on where those 2 teams are.
I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And I'm just having some fun with you, but
I'm not afraid of getting taken after anyone.
I'm surprised he should have been gone already, but
all right. The next pick is in. All right, with the
has to be Fresno.
First pick in the 4th round, joining the Rangers, Pirates, Royals, and Jays in the Rivera division. Everybody, calm your titties. The Fresno Falcons are off the board.
Yeah, this is crazy. This Rivera division is full of like
personality
guys I have no fucking clue how to rate right now.
There's a lot of wild cards here.
This is 4 GMs. I actually have no clue how to like pin down how talented they are and project out where they will be in like 5 years' time. This is the craziest division so far. It could be awful. It could be great. This is the most volatile division I have seen.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
Are you projecting yourself to be the final pick?
I think I'll be one of the final 3 picks. Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you're the final pick in this draft, guess what division you're going in?
I would love to play with them in day after day.
No, I'm just looking at the draft and where we're going to slot.
Let's talk about Fresno a little instead.
I think you could be like the last pick, but I also think the Rockies could be, and that would be fucking bananas.
This is where shit gets real, fellas.
Amin and Kiefer in the same division. Wow. Again, because he used to be the Yankees.
That would be good for Kiefer. He can no longer trade with Amin anymore.
Yeah. But let's talk. Look, so Michael has come in and he's done a good job. He's got a young team. I think they're going to be ascending soon. They have a good young rotation. I think he has a plan. He's got Whitson, who's he needs a dev up, but I think he's going to be a stud. He needs bats.
He needs a lot of shit. Yeah. What he doesn't need is a fucking market increase because he got one. I'm not fucking mad.
Oh my god, I can't even talk about it. Want to talk about the team still out there now that Fresno's gone. We really do need to have a discussion because you have St. Louis, it's a name we've mentioned a couple of times here. You have Vancouver, you have California, you have the Giants, you have Arizona and Colorado. You have the Reds. Are the Reds a good pick?
The Reds,
yeah.
I wouldn't touch the Reds. Right? I wouldn't touch the Reds.
The Reds and Tigers should be the next picks. The Reds should be the next pick. Zeus is like looking really good, but
Montreal is a pick in here.
I can tell you guys the next pick is in, and it is not Cincinnati. All right, let's get it on the board officially here.
It's got to be fucking Steve.
Joining the Alvarado division with the Mariners, Phillies, Ignition, and Black Bears.
This is my division. This shit matters. All right, yeah.
Is going to be, Trent, you're probably not going to like this.
Probably I'm not.
The Memphis Blues.
Totally forgot about Memphis.
It's okay.
Oh,
Oh my God! It's the Atlantic.
This is literally the Atlantic right now. Yeah.
You know what this is, by Dustin? This is a really solid pick. This is the right place. This is a really solid place to take Corey.
I gotta believe. Like, you're debating Steve.
You'd rather have Cincinnati. You'd rather have St. Louis.
And I think Steve.
100%. Yeah.
I'd rather have St. Louis than Memphis.
That's Cincinnati. And I think Steve is a better GM than he was when he was with the Yankees.
No, I'm not. It's not about his GM ability. It's just about where his team is in the cycle. I think he's kind of at the same spot as me. I think his wheels are going to fall off pretty soon. So.
Well, I mean, he did sell.
A little bit, yeah.
He wasn't trying to whip ass in the Alvarado division for like 10 years. 2065, the Memphis Blues are going to win the Alvarado division like 7 of the next 10 years afterwards. You don't take Corey now when Cincinnati's on the board, Detroit's on the board. This pick, I think
I should have gone before Corey.
Maybe, like, I think there's a fair argument against it, but like, I don't think Corey should have gone this early into the 4th round with who's left. Wow.
Well, we did. 2 of us called him to get drafted earlier than he should.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This feels like. I mean, where else does he go? Right. The rest of the teams that are left are like kind of successful in the moment teams. So
I one of the teams that we kind of have hit on here are the Reds. The Reds are fucking scary looking. Okay. And Jacob, you got to admit that rotation is fucking scary. And I think teams are looking at that. Saying, I don't want that in my division right now. If you're trying to win, you don't draft Reds because the Reds are ascending big time.
Is Zeus a 4th round GM based on his history in Sky?
You also have to look at the roster, and this roster is young and fucking studly.
That doesn't matter. I'm sure he's had that before, and he has fumbled it in the past. I don't think... He posted like 2 days ago about it was yesterday, about him being a small market team. I just bro, that's on you. And him being worried about money in the future. That's on you. If you can't figure that shit out and figure out how to remain competitive, that's on you. Cincinnati should not have gone before Memphis. That's a bad
Let's find out if they're next. The pick is in.
I think this is Steve.
No, this can't
be. The pick is in. Joining the third pick, in the 4th round, the 4.3, joining the Torres division and the Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee Brewers, Oakland Athletics, Houston Astros is going to be the Cincinnati Reds.
Wow.
Yep. This makes sense. This is a perfect spot for him based on where he is, but how he's done in the past. I think this is probably a very generous selection for him if we had done this last season.
Just like to go through now wait, hold on. We're going to talk about, because I'm taking control right now of this conversation. The 5 team in D. Rich's division right now are Atlanta, Oakland, Milwaukee, Houston, and Cincinnati. Who's not making the playoffs?
Houston. Maybe
you think Milwaukee. Those other 4 teams all make the playoffs?
I think.
Who's the worst team in that division in 2016?
Right now, it's Houston.
Right now,
Houston and Milwaukee.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, and they still have a 5th round pick.
I don't trust any of those teams.
But this division actually looks pretty fucking tough.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
This is where Craig drafts me, right? Right, Craig? You guys don't like this division?
D-Rich will win 110K every year without export.
If the Braves are good, right? Are the Brewers a playoff team last year? And the Brewers have a good roster? Does Oakland have a good roster? Do the Reds have a good roster?
Oh, Jacob's losing it, man. Oh. All right. I mean, I don't know what else is to say. There's going to be more said about this. Trust me. We're just scraping the iceberg, gentlemen. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more discussion on Slack. I'm sure there'd be like 10 guys willing to jump on a random pod tomorrow night or something if we.
Hell yeah! I'm doing.
We're making great time here, right? We're
yeah.
We're actually making fucking really good time. This is only 45 minutes. All right. Well, the pick is in from Craig.
I need to see it.
If this isn't Steve, then I don't know what's going on.
Well, Jason, you don't know what the fuck is going on because with
Detroit,
it's
Detroit.
It's Detroit.
The fourth pick in the fourth round, the 4.4, joining the Dodgers, Red Sox, Hops, and Indians in the Ponds division. How cool is this? Because guess what my favorite number is, fellas? 4. It is Brotherly Love division in the Vancouver Cascades.
Let's go.
Will join the Indians. I'm fucking terrified of my brothers.
All the
team.
brothers are all the brothers and Tyler.
Yes, thank you, Craig.
We got both brothers. Fuck
yeah.
yes, Craig.
Look,
I thank you for doing this. You're such a king for this. Yes, that's amazing.
I mean, this is about the spot I should go. Honestly, I might have a couple years left, and then all my dudes' contracts run out, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't think Vancouver should go before Detroit. I don't think that's a good take. I think Detroit's still floating on the board here.
Fuck my ass, dude.
What?
Fucking have to live with the Hops again, beating my ass randomly out of nowhere. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Craig has drafted one hell of a division here, I will say.
Yeah, no, it's two brothers, 2 Tylers, and Craig. Like, that's badass, right?
Yeah, this division looks cool. I'm glad I got to stay. I'm in the American League.
I am sweating this one out.
I can't believe Detroit's still on the board here.
Oh, I'm sweating this one out.
I hope he picks you, Tarlo, just for shitting.
He needs to be the next pick.
How mad would you be if you got picked next, Jason? I mean, you get to shit on Zach every day.
I don't.
Jason and Zach.
I'm getting messages from Zach already.
Yeah.
So fuck.
I think it should be. Truthfully, I think it should be Steve before Jason. That's just my opinion. You move on.
I kind of agree.
I don't think that's enough of a reach for me to disagree. I would probably gravitate towards Detroit before St. Louis, but
well, I didn't say Detroit before St. Louis. I said Steve before Jason.
So I'm getting messages from fucking all kinds of people saying they try to get me in their division.
Detroit isn't that good. They're not that good. They don't have enough coming up. Detroit's not a good team.
The pick is in.
Dude, we have the #1 spec in the fucking league.
He's gonna flame out.
I think.
He's not
can
good.
we see if Sam paid off all the other captains to get Jason in his division?
Eat my ass.
Eat my ass. I love it. Well, joining the Sparrow division with the Miami Marlins, the Minnesota Twins, the Chicago Cubs, the Las Vegas Knights, with the 5th pick in the 4th round of the Div draft, is going to be... You done got fucked, son. Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, I told you.
Let's still think that's a mistake.
Let's hear it, Jason.
Yay! Thanks, Sam. Motherfucker. What?
Yay!
Look. I get Zach. So, and I get Dan, who I'm good friends with. So, and I have a good repertoire with Jeff. So I like that. I just don't like. I'm battling for 2nd place. So. I was hoping not to get with the Marlins, but, oh well. Thanks, Sam, fucker.
Good luck, brother, because that
I love that Sparrow division.
It's a battle for 2nd place. I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean...
We've got Zach, Jeff, Dan, Jason, and Sam in the same division so far. This is such a fun division.
Fun division.
Yeah, definitely fun.
It's going to be a fun division. It's just, it's Miami is... like might be the greatest dynasty this league has ever seen.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
you're gonna eat shit for
I
a
mean, the
while.
Jays were amazing.
Yeah.
This might be different.
Well, it's now up to
I
AJ
fucking-
to fill out the Sandoval
Hey,
division.
Jacob, I pray you join me, buddy. I
I'm
pray
down.
you
This is
fucking
it.
join me.
He's only got one more. Right. This is the last pick in the Sandoval division.
I
Quick,
cannot
Ryan,
believe
run
the
over-
Cardinals
Run
didn't get
over
picked.
for us, Rilf, the other 5 teams in that division.
In the which division? There's only
In
4 so far.
AJ's
AJ has back-to-back picks here,
Oh,
but I
okay,
will
so he's
I
gonna
will
fill
name
it
the
out.
teams that are left.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah. San Fran,
we got
Colorado,
Arizona, California,
San Francisco,
Colorado, yep,
California,
Montreal,
St. Louis, Montreal, and New York.
yep.
If
Yeah,
he
this
doesn't
is
do it,
tough.
This has got to be St. Louis, and I think
Yeah.
Montreal.
yeah. I mean
That
that would make sense.
That would be my
I'd be surprised if St. Louis isn't one of the teams here for sure.
yeah.
I think St. Louis is gonna be one of the teams here.
But Montreal's
after
been
that-
kind of unlucky.
I think part of that is I think you can sort of argue once we get to the 5th who you want to play with because all these teams are pretty good when you get to the 5th.
Bro, you know what I want to see? I just thought of more than anything. I want to see Arizona go to the Sparrow division. The absolute personalities of that
The
division would be
chaos there is
Yeah.
going to be amazing. Holy shit! I didn't realize
I want
that.
I want him to be the last pick so that he's in a means division with KC Mad.
Oh god, yeah. This is all right.
Oh,
AJ,
there's so much.
sorry, AJ's he's actually had some shit come up at where he is, so he's working on both his picks right now. So he's gonna run out both his clocks.
He's got 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got 6 minutes for 2 picks. Right.
All right, the first pick is in.
Okay.
The first pick is
Well, that's
in.
good.
It's Slim Pickens, obviously, but the second last team, the last pick in the 4th round of the division draft, in the Sandoval division, joining the White Sox, Orioles, Mets, and Padres. Holy moly, this could be a little rivalry we never thought of here, but it's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes
JP
sense to me.
and Steve, I think they have a little something going, don't they?
Yeah, they don't like each other much. It goes back to Tim Salmons. Yeah.
Tim fucking Salmons.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. It's a name I haven't heard
That's
in a
totally
long
true.
time.
Look it up. It does go back to Tim Salmons.
I think
That
this
trade
is the
was
best
hilarious.
pick available.
I think so,
This
too.
is the best pick. Yeah.
This is the good point. I think this is a good point to take this GM. I'd have gone St. Louis over Detroit. That's just me. But it's a good pick.
Yeah. 100%.
Jacob, I have some good news. You're not getting picked by Sam.
Brother, I wasn't going to. I know this. I know where I'm getting picked. It's okay. Do we have the second AJ pick? I love this Sandoval division right now.
He's still working on it right now.
JP, Higgs, AJ, Troy, and Brandon is an interesting div because I can see the Mets being 6. I can see the Padres and Cards both falling into a rebuild as well, right?
Yes. Very
And
much
so there's
agree.
like 4 teams where I'm like they're either bad or they could be bad very soon, and
I
then
think this is Montreal.
who won't be.
the Expos, or do you go California?
I don't think you go California just because Mikey is not afraid to swing his dick around, and you don't know exactly what he's up to until he actually does something. So I think this probably is a Montreal or Colorado pick.
Yeah, 1 second. AJ's just.
I don't think it's the
I-
Rockies.
I hesitate
Who's
to
left?
say this 'cause
Arizona, California, Colorado.
Yeah.
This
San
could be
Fran.
Arizona. This could be Arizona.
I was
I
about to
think-
ask if we're overrating Arizona and San
We
Fran.
100% are. And so I think Arizona here would be fine. I think Colorado's most likely to go into a rebuild. So of the teams left, it makes sense to pick them here. Yeah, min-max Kiefer. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The Rockies were the 1 seed.
Yeah, I don't think
That,
they're at
okay,
that point,
recency bias. Again, recency bias.
Mikey is self-proclaimed checked out, though. Right? He said he's
Kiefer is willing to go into a rebuild.
He's got a good young team. Are you out of your mind?
So we're drafting for 15 years. If you're arguing that the next 3 years they will be good, they'll be bad for 5 because Keefe might say, I don't have it right now. I've sent too much away. Then I think that's a fair pick for like a forward-looking draft slot here. I think it probably should be one of Arizona, Montreal, or Colorado here would be my take. I think California, San Francisco, and myself should be the final 3 picks. Would be how I would do it, and then you're basically just picking your poison.
All right, looks like AJ is typing. I think wherever he is, he might be a little hammered. I think he had
let's go.
I think he had a sports ball engagement or something that he couldn't get out of, so I think they may have taken him out afterwards. Somebody paid him to get him drunk. I mean, his division is drafted well enough that I'm not worried, but yeah, I think it's going to be Montreal, I think, or California is my guess here, but
I don't know why JP's so desperate to try and think that I'm going to cry if I'm picked here, like as if I'm worried about the San Diego Padres having traded away literally everything and having a dog shit farm and not being, and you aren't good. You aren't good. You aren't good.
All right, we have received the pick. With the first pick in the final round and the final pick filling out the Sandoval division in the American League, I know it's going to be awkward for a while, but get used to it. That's going to be the Montreal Expos.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that pick.
And so I will recap the final division. Chicago, I'm going to read them in order of like the strongest based on the pick. So you've got the White Sox, Montreal, St. Louis, San Diego, the Mets, and the Baltimore? What the fuck was that? Baltimore Orioles.
AJ's done a really good job of putting a hammer lid on his division. I think he's the favorite every year right now. Like, I don't think once the Padres are burnt to the ground, I think the White Sox are going to have a hammer on this division for a while.
I think it's interesting. I think that Jock is a really good GM. The Expos are interesting. I'm not surprised they're selected here, so it's not like I think it's a bad pick. But and I think San Diego might be interesting. I think if he plays his cards right, maybe they could be interesting for 2-3 more years. But as we discussed on the pod, Tarlo, the Bills come and do. I mean, you can only put it off for so long. We know that when it happens, JP's not afraid to commit to the rebuild and make that happen. And I think that's what AJ's thinking. And it's not a bad thought. I mean, if AJ really has had all this shit happen to him tonight, I feel badly for him. But I don't want him to feel like he picked an out-of-bounds division here. Because he
this is totally fair.
It's perfectly reasonable.
This is a good division. I think there's like honestly, it's the White Sox and the Expos for like next year for me of who will be the best team in that division. And then it's the Padres, then it's the Cardinals. Those teams will both be like somewhat competitive next season, and then you'll have the Mets and Orioles. But like, there's good competition here, which is interesting. But like the future outlook is fascinating to me on how they end up, you know?
Yeah, I just thought of this. It's a really geographically balanced division, right? Like you have the Padres out west, you have Montreal, Chicago in the middle, Baltimore's on the east, right? It's a very geographically balanced division as well. Lots of airline miles in the Sandoval division here.
100%. I like this. Right. This is a good division, the Sandoval division.
Well, the pick is in for the final team for the Sparrow division.
Oh, this is Tarlo's division, so this shit matters.
This is Jason Tarlo's.
Let's hear it.
It's got to be Diamondbacks.
Let's hear it.
with the second pick in the final round of the division draft. Final pick filling out the Sparrow division is going to be everybody's second favorite Ryan, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Wow. Yeah, this makes sense. I think this is the best pick here.
So that division is going to be Miami, Arizona, Detroit, Las Vegas, the Cubs, and the Twins.
We have Zach and Ryan, two Diamondbacks GMs going at it, guys. Yes.
Yeah, who's the more successful D-backs GM? Can't
This
wait
is
for that to
great.
get argued every fucking day.
This Sparrow division is so fucking toxic. I love this.
That's a good word for it. I feel bad for
This
Jeff
is
because he's
sick.
like the fucking.
yeah.
He's like the good
Zach-
egg of the division.
Yeah. Jeff is the only level-headed. I mean, Sam is pretty level-headed as well, and during these years, but like, those are the two level-headed guys, and you've just got like Ryan, Dan, Zach, beefing with each other over like divisional games, which is fucking amazing. I love this division.
Dude, Zach is going to get pounded.
Oh yeah,
He is going to get fucking pulverized in this division.
I think if the Twins put their mind to it, they could win like 20 games next year. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would like that. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He would love that right
Wow.
now.
This division is
This
gonna
is so
be
good.
fun and hard as fuck.
This division's amazing. I love the Sparrow division, man.
Sparrow is the new Atlantic division. Oh wait. Yeah, this is
great.
So
This is gonna be an
who's
issue
up?
for sure.
Craig? So
Craig is
we have
the
the
Lump Club.
Giants.
Yep.
He's taking the Angels. Here. Of the teams that are left, they are probably in the worst spot.
I would take
Right?
the Rockies over the Angels.
I think
That would be my
I
pick.
think I would take a non-playoff team here.
I think I take the Angels, but I don't have a good answer as to why. I think one of the things I will just say I have a lot of respect for Mikey because I don't think he's bad at the game. Exactly the opposite is true. But I was sort of turned off by his post today, saying that he sort of checked out on 2025, just in a really bad mood about it. Being mad about 2025, more understanding I could not be, but being checked out because of it, I don't know.
adapt or die.
Yeah, I just was really turned off by that post. And I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily why he gets picked here or whatever, but I do think that if he's not picked here, he probably will be selected by D-Rich, so one
Pick
difference.
is in, and you guys are probably gonna like this, I think, because Craig sent a nice quick little blurb to go along with the reason he chose.
I love
Not a blurb,
this.
it's literally one sentence, but it's quite hilarious in my opinion. Joining the Dodgers, Red Sox, Hops, Indians, and Cascades in the Ponds division. Oh, I forgot to type out who just got picked. That was Montreal, right? No, wait, what am I doing? Who the fuck just got picked? Arizona. Am I drunk?
Yeah, no,
Before
you're
that
drunk.
was
There's
Montreal.
four
Oh,
left.
okay.
You're
My bad.
all good. Yep.
All right. Joining the Ponds division, and I quote, "I'm not done breaking Mikey's psyche yet." The California Angels.
Oh, Craig.
I love it.
You beautiful bastard. Oh, that's fucking funny. Oh. This is a
That
fun division
really-
too. Holy shit.
Really good.
You've got
Any division
4
with both
teams that are
LA
in the
teams in it
West.
is fun.
Yeah, 4 teams in the West, so there's some geographical shit there.
Yeah.
And 2 brothers. This is great. Oh, this is a fun one. I like this. I like this a lot. This is good.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with this. Again, all these GMs have broadly done a pretty good job here. This is the last team in the D-Rich division. Every team in D-Rich's division made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, who the
Except
fuck
for
do you take?
Houston.
Who do you take here?
Take me. I want to be in this division. Take me,
You know what?
Rich. Take me.
I think he's taking Kiefer.
Yeah, I think
taking
he's taking
Kiefer.
Kiefer
He's got a
too, yeah.
relationship with Kiefer. I think
Yeah.
he's
I
taking
don't-
Kiefer.
Oh, I think the Yankees are a very realistic possibility here.
Oh,
Take me,
dude,
D Rich. I want to be here. I like
That
this
would be-
division. Take me. I want to be in D Rich's division.
I mean, the
Take
heat
me.
is there, right? The heat is there.
Is he scared
the
of
other-
picking me after I whipped
the
his
other-
ass in the playoffs?
The other
Is that
team
what this
that's
is?
left is San
Ooh,
Fran. So
like
it's
I
really
see through the egging on.
No one's taking San Fran. No one wants to touch that. Why would you want San Fran in your division? That's fucking ugly. It's between
I'd
Colorado
play-
and myself. No
I'd
one's
play in
touching
a division with
SF.
Matt in a New York minute. Yep. Love that guy.
I think he's taking Kiefer. I think there's a relationship there. I think it would make the most sense.
100%. I agree from like the optic standpoint. I like this division. I don't want to be in the Rivera division. I want one of Alvarado or Torres based on what I'm seeing here.
I think I think if you don't go here, I think you're going to Dustin. But
No, Dustin
I think
will
so
take
too,
the
yeah.
Northwest
Well,
guy.
I don't
Dustin
know.
will take geography.
I mean, he hasn't yet. Look who he picked. Philly,
You're
Indy,
right.
Virginia, Memphis. And that's nobody in the West at
well,
all.
I'm also rooting that Matt
You're
gets
right.
away from Dustin. So, I don't know.
I would love to be in a division with any of these three captains. These are like three sky icons. This is amazing no matter what happens. The three guys that are left, you're basically picking your poison on like who
Yep.
you don't want, right?
I was just about to say the three teams left could be the best teams in their division that get picked in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, are we really all that surprised if Montreal wins AJ's division next year? I'm not.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you're really, really, really shocked if that happens. I mean, all these teams picked in the 5th round.
They
win the
wouldn't be
division
my
next year.
favorite to win the division, but like if they win, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I'm
Right?
not really that surprised. Yeah.
The
Right.
pick is in.
All right. Come on, D Rich. Call my name, baby.
It's gotta
it.
be. It's gotta be you. It's gotta be you.
Come on,
Ladies and gentlemen, joining the Torres division with the Braves, Brewers, Athletics, Astros, Reds, the 4th and 3rd last pick in the division draft, the Atlanta Braves and Dr. Ick have selected the San Francisco Giants.
Whoa. What?
Are the Braves gonna finish last in their own division their first year?
Yeah, that
Teams
would
are
be
sorta good.
that would be fucking hilarious. Hey,
Whoa.
I believe in the Reds. Like the Braves could be the 3rd best team right now.
That's
Boy.
tough. Sam saying that's the right pick. Wow. They were just in the SCS. How
Like,
do you
the Giants have a
rationalize
damn
that?
good roster. Well, okay, you're picking your poison here. The Rockies, they were the 1 seed, really good young team. Yankees, they fell down a little bit, but that's still a decently good roster. And then you have the Giants. Pick your poison.
All right. Well, since D-Rich said it in
Whoa.
the chat, his blurb was, "I gotta stick to picking shit GMs. Trust the plan." San Francisco.
He was talking so much shit about AJ, but he's picked 4 teams that all made the playoffs last year, and like all in the next like 3 years are gonna be good. Like this is the short-term toughest division by far on paper.
I agree. I think that's the
That
plan,
is
though. Short
not a
term.
matter of opinion. Short term, this is the toughest division by far.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at those teams, those ballparks are pretty extreme. You got Atlanta,
Yeah.
Oakland, San Francisco, all kind of pitchers parks. Milwaukee, Houston, and the Reds are all like hitter parks. You have extremes there. So,
Damn. I wouldn't have had the balls to make this pick after they made the SCS.
This is another legacy
thought-
pick. Look at Matt's record, right? He just said, look at Matt's record. They're all legacy picks, every single
They
one.
are. I don't think that I could have made this pick based on like how he's done and where his farm has been. He has adapted so well to the newest game. He's been great at all facets of it. So like, this is the last guy I would pick. This would have been like my final pick. I can't believe that. Wow.
So
Oh.
2 teams left. We have the pick, the second last pick, which. Go ahead, Jason. Yeah,
I'll
go
be
ahead.
very surprised.
I think the Yankees go. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think. I think he takes the Yankees here.
You know how much I'm gonna swing my dick around if I'm the last pick, fellas?
Oh God.
Yeah, well,
this pick is obviously going to reveal both picks, so we're not going to restart the clock or put a mean on the clock, because after that it's all done, and I'm sure the hate and the love and the hottest takes around will be flowing. So.
Wow, I'm 10 bourbons in and really need a cigarette. All right.
Well, the final pick in the Alvarado division, joining the Mariners, Phillies, Ignition, Black Bears, and Blues.
Colorado.
Jacob had it right. Went with the geography. Maybe not. But the Colorado Rockies will join the Alvarado division.
Makes me happy because Jakob stuck with Amin again. Oh, that division.
I love it.
Pure hatred.
I love it.
Pure hatred.
I'm gonna talk
Kansas
so much
City's
shit.
in that division. Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Yeah, but are you going to get within 20 games of the Blue Jays is the question.
No, we're not.
So, believe it or not, Kiefer has... Okay, no, this is not right. I have fucked up here.
He has like 4 titles.
Yeah, I knew I fucked up somebody's.
Yeah.
There's no way he's only played 2,600 games in 58 seasons. I fucked up.
And there's also no way that his all-time record is 447.
Yeah. That's what exactly. I could look it up in game, but everybody can look it up in game if you just go to the managers list.
Something is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked this one up. My bad. I must have mixed him up with another team. 447. Who did I fuck? Regardless,
the National League is a fucking gauntlet.
Let's look at the Yankees card here. Jacob Yankees prisoner. Should probably put your real last name in. I think most people have their real last name in, but
they do.
Doesn't really matter.
My last name's embarrassing. I don't want to tell anybody.
Is it fuckface?
It can't be any worse than mine, bro. Come on.
No, it's a second first name. It's awful. I'm not gonna.
You're one of those.
These details.
My brother-in-law has 2 first names. Yeah.
Is it Carol?
It's close. So close.
It's Christopher, isn't it?
Rat fucker. All right, well, gentlemen, hot take time. Let's start. Well, Jason's the top of my list. Jason, the winner and the loser of this first ever division draft. Go.
I think the National League is fucking brutal. Toronto, Miami, San Francisco, Arizona, the Yankees,
Atlanta,
fucking Detroit. Fuck, it's gonna be brutal. The Reds are still here, and the Reds. Yep. I am high on the Reds. I think the American League has turned into the old East.
Do you know who else is in your National League? The Royals.
Totally forgot about
They went to the RCS.
I think the National League is going to be fucking brutal.
All right, who's your winner and loser for the captains? Who drafted the best division, drafted the worst? What's your take?
The best division overall in talent?
No, like who drafted the best division for themselves?
Craig.
Craig. For right now, Craig is the Dodgers are gonna win like 400 games next season.
I'm hypothetically saying Craig might be the only team that gets to the playoffs in that division.
That's possible, yeah. I mean, I've missed the last list season, so highly probable.
Dustin, I think, did well. He got 4 kind of retools there, and then he got the Rockies. So he doesn't really have competition right now. I think the National League is going to be fucking brutal.
I think the concentration of talent for the short term is in the National League, to be honest with you. I think the Sparrow division right now sucks shit outside of the Marlins and I guess Diamondbacks. I still don't believe in the Diamondbacks.
Arizona's days of winning 100 games are over.
Exactly. And so maybe in a realignment, some of these teams in the Torres division look worse. I don't like their like medium term outlook. And then the Rivera division is the weakest right now, I would say, of those three in the National League.
Yeah. Yeah, Pirates,
No,
Falcons, and the Rangers are even the well. I don't know. The Rangers are such a
actually no.
wild
The
card,
Sparrow
man.
division is the weakest right now. What am I saying? But the Rivera division, I think long term might be like in medium term. I still think it's probably better than where the AL is at. I don't like the AL in the slightest. Having
The AL
like the
has a lot
last,
more potential long term, but yeah, in the short term, I think the National League is going to be the
yeah,
gauntlet for sure.
having both SCS teams in the same conference is crazy. Getting both the Marlins and the Giants in the National League.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the Blue Jays who made the RCS. You have
The Royals made the
Braves
RCS?
and Yankees. Yeah, the Royals made the RCS. The Yankees made, and the Blue Jays were like all there. Like the Braves were there. There's a lot of good playoff talent here. So I think this is like the short term thing. We'll see where the long term looks. But
Yeah, obviously being the
wow.
first one, like parity is the ultimate goal, and fun is like 1A. This was a lot of fun, in my opinion. So, but parity is the ultimate goal, and we'll see how it shakes out at the end of the 15 years. Right now, it looks
Yeah.
a little top heavy on the National League side, but who the hell knows? Like, who knows where teams are going to be in 5 years, right? So,
Yeah, this rocks. I'm so glad we did this. This
me
was
too.
so sick.
Believe in the vision, man. This is what I had in my head the whole time. Was this like NFL draft style shit? So, where teams,
I think that I like what I really like what I agree with that. I like what Craig did.
Yeah.
The other since nobody's mentioned it yet is I think I sort of like what Amin did. I really think taking Casey Matt in the first was ballsy, but I think it makes sense. And then to get Pittsburgh on the turn and still have Fresno. There are only 3 teams in that division you can even foresee making the playoffs next year. Because I'm sorry, Kansas City's not one of them.
I will say, as the guy who owns the 2061 Royals first right now, I am very happy to be in his division.
Holy shit! Wow.
I didn't even think of that. That's a fun point. The no, so it hasn't been mentioned yet, so I'll mention Amin. I think he did a pretty good job. I mentioned before, I think AJ, all the GMs did what they wanted to do here. D-Rich just effectively came out and said, "You're picking a GM, not a team."
Yeah,
I
no
think
doubt.
I think that is because I think D-Rich. I'll compliment that because that's sort of how I saw this. I think you're picking a GM, not a team. Don't get obsessed with farm. Don't get obsessed with how they look now. You're picking a GM, not a team. What GMs, especially ones that have been around a long time, have not done as well. And I think that's what D-Rich wanted to do. Now, short term, I defy you to tell me how many teams in the Torres division in 2060 make the playoffs and which ones do not. I don't know how you do that. Short term, that looks like just a murderous division.
Mm-hmm.
But and I agree with what people are saying. I think short term, the National League looks really, really tough. Pick the 8 playoff teams from that division right now. Go.
Good luck. Yeah.
But so I mean, you're leaving somebody out that you feel badly about. In the American League, I think it's a little bit more rebuild heavy, right? Like, does Portland's rebuild go? How does Boston's rebuild go? How does Cleveland's rebuild go?
Yep.
What happens to the Cascades? Ryan self-admitted that he has 2, maybe 3 years before some hard decisions need to be made. What happens to the Phillies rebuild? What happens to Indy's rebuild? What happens to Memphis rebuilds? That's the rebuild league. And I think that what happens to San Diego's rebuild? What happens to St. Louis's rebuild? What happens to the Mets?
Jesus Christ, this division, that whole league sucks.
Yeah,
right.
I'm looking at
got
the AL.
I'm going to call it the rebuild league more than the current league. I mean, some of those rebuilds will succeed and some of them will fail. Like that's just the way it goes, right? And some of that's skill of the GM, and some of that's not skill of the GM. Bad things can happen that really aren't the fault of the GM. So I think all of that makes it for sort of an interesting short-term and long-term future. Um, I gotta say, I'm not displeased with the division I ended up in. I'll play in that division. Perfectly happy there. Got a lot of respect for Dustin, a lot of respect for Kiefer. Those are the top two GMs in that division. Don't have any problem with that at all. Happily play with those guys in any league on OOTP anytime. Love those guys.
All right, let's finish up with your final hot take. I'll give you guys a chance to think of something because I got something.
I think the Sandoval division is probably the toughest like floor right now. AJ drafted the worst, I think, in terms of like next season. He's not gonna. I don't think he wins his division, and I think he's probably the only
AJ's not gonna
GM.
win his division?
I think AJ's the only GM that was drafting that isn't going to be the favorite headed into next season of the Captains.
Oh, you're
the Padres.
Jacob. Wow.
I think the Blue Jays should be the favorite in their division. The Marlins are obviously the favorite. The Dodgers are goddamn 100% the favorite.
Yep.
The Marlins, I mean, the Mariners Rockies is 50-50, I would say. And then the Braves, I think, is probably 50-50. But I don't think the White Sox are the favorite in their division. That's like the most clear.
Yeah, but who is? But who is?
Are you serious?
I like Montreal better than Chicago, but like barely.
I think AJ's got a hammer on his division indefinitely.
I don't think
I think the White Sox are really good.
I disagree. Yeah, okay. We're cutting into future pod discussions for sure, but
so
dude, my hot take is I
think D-Rich is in a world of hurt. I think he's finishing third next year.
No,
I think Giants and the Reds are going to be better.
The Giants might beat them. I think that's a fair take. I think
the Reds will finish above the Braves.
I do think. Actually, you know what? I'm rescinding my take because I think the Giants are better than the Braves right now.
You're 100% better than the Braves.
Yeah.
I think the Alvarado division, halfway through this cycle, this D-draft cycle, will be the new Atlantic.
I agree.
I think Seattle will always be good. Colorado, I think, is not going anywhere anytime soon. Not as soon as you guys think. Corey's going to rebuild into a monster. Berto has shown that he can hang with guys already in that kind of division. And fucking Trent is stuck in another division like this again.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have four potential juggernauts.
I'm looking at that, and I'm like, Seattle is always going to be good. Colorado is going to be good for a long time. When Memphis comes back, they're going to be insane. I can already feel it. And then I don't expect Indy to be like dog shit bad, and I don't expect Virginia or Philly to be dog shit bad in the same time in like a long period of time. Like they'll be like 70 win teams at worst, right?
Yep.
In their worst years. That's going to be a tough ass division.
I'm excited that it looks like exactly one team per division got drafted back into their original division, right? The Yankees
and the Jays. Yeah.
Not the Sparrow division. Everybody there is OG, right? Milwaukee, Colorado, St. Louis, Colorado, and California. Yep. So 5 actually. So we're gonna have like brand new matchups. Like this is gonna be so fucking exciting to see how this all works out in terms of playing these different teams. Trent can finally lift the curse out of the Atlantic.
I think my hot take would be is that all these GMs did a good job. I think that all the captains did a pretty good job.
I'm stoked that everybody drafted.
That's not a sexy hot take, but I think it's the correct take. I think what was interesting about this, and I've already mentioned D-Rich's plan to draft a GM, not a team, but I think everybody had a different idea of what they wanted to do, right?
Yep.
Like Spreadsheet did what he wanted to do. I think Dustin did what he wanted to do. I think D-Rich did what he wanted to do. And I don't think any of these teams drafted really bad. I think Miami is far and away the favorite in their division. That division does not look great.
The more I look at these
Now-
National League teams, I don't think they're that like. I'm sorry, but KC could be terrible. Pittsburgh sucks. Fresno sucks. Rangers are falling off. Twins sucks. Cubs are a total question mark. Vegas is failing to rebuild. The Tigers are the Tigers. Like the Brewers could lose fucking 90 games. Like I don't think it's that good.
Arizona's.
No.
JP posted something that he thinks Arizona's legit. I gave it.
They
100
are.
because
We meme on them, but they are definitely.
I think Arizona is legitimately a good baseball team. I know Jakob's been tough to realize that. I think when they're good again for a third straight year, it will be hard pressed to not
Trent,
admit that it is
I just
true.
want to top off a point here. So to piggyback, I think the teams who are in the West and now are in the National League, like the Diamondbacks and the Giants, I think they got hosed because now instead of going through the old West, now you got to go through the Marlins.
No way,
all those
bro. The
teams that
Giants
were-
got a deal. Are you kidding? They were in
Yeah.
the Northwest.
So I'm just
Bro,
saying,
they're licking their
not only do you have to go
chops.
through the Marlins, but the Jays are fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay, and now, dude, it's so top heavy. Those teams that were up and coming in the West got hosed, and I know hosed maybe isn't the word, but it's instead of going through a West and meeting Miami in the finals, you got to go through Miami just to get there now.
I
Yeah.
think
It's incredibly harder for like teams like Arizona and the Giants now, and even Oakland, because I think Oakland's guy has a good roster. But I'm just saying, it just got incredibly harder for those teams now to make it. Because
Well, Andy's used to getting bent over by his division mates. So
no,
it's
but
okay.
I mean, it's one thing to have the Jays.
He likes butt stuff
who
anyway.
are
so
really
we're
good. The Marlins are the Jays times 10. There's no beating the Marlins right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I think-
the question is
simmer
like
down.
when their window closes. or not.
Jacob, let's just a spade's a spade. Nobody's
that's-
beating Miami, Jacob.
I was
Nobody.
2 innings away in the
Yeah.
RCS in 2057. I
That
was
was
one
3 years
Jacoby Young
was
blown
3
save away from ruining their
I
dynasty.
think-
What do you mean?
That was
I think
3 years
think-
ago.
I think you mean a couple of different things. First of all, I don't think anybody should be favored to make the playoffs more than Miami. That I think is a slam dunk. I think in the playoffs, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, San Fran had the lead on Miami in Game 6 and lost. And
Miami likes to
and then
play
you
with
go-
the food.
and then you go to a Game 7 and you never know what happens. So I think in a 7-game series, the margin for error is so small that it's really tough to read into that. I mean, I think that the Marlins are good. The better question, and this is something I don't even pretend to have an answer to this: how many years is the Marlins window? Is it 10 years? Is it 5 years?
I
How many
mean,
years is the Marlin window open?
It's-
I don't know the
minimum-
answer to that.
minimum
I'd have
5.
to look. Right?
Yeah.
Like, look at
So,
their
one
good
would-
players are all 20 something. Like, it's 5 easy.
Look, I think that I think on the low end it's 5. Yes, I agree with that.
I
get to
think
the high
Sam
end.
takes the lead in SCS wins.
Hasn't he
I don't
already?
think
No, Amin has like 9 or something.
9?
Yeah.
I
think so.
and Sam has 7. I
Yeah.
think I wouldn't. If I do the pod again, every year, I'm picking the Marlins. I'll take them over the field.
What a brave take, Jason. Thank you.
That
wow.
well, no,
Yeah.
I will take the Marlins over the
I can
field
sleep
every
easy
single
now.
day. That's how much.
Fucking everybody would, dude. That is the
No, I'm
coldest
just
take
saying
in the history
that
of Sky right
You better
now.
take it out of context. I'm just saying that's how good Miami is right now.
You better check
And
to
that's-
see if your
and
balls
I
are up
love
inside
what
your body
Matt
at this
has
point.
done
How cold you are,
with
dude.
Giants, but I'm like, you now have to go through them just to get through an SCS.
Welcome
think
to every year
next
for the Jays and
season-
fucking Braves.
I think next season the 4th best team in the National League could be arguably the best team in the American League.
That's
That is
possible,
that
yeah.
is true.
Very
No,
possible.
and that's true because you've got Miami, the Jays, and
The Giants, the Yankees,
Underselling
the
the
Braves,
Rockies, shake my head.
and the Diamondbacks. There's like 6 teams there that all have like 100-win potential in any given year.
I also
agree with
think
the
what Mikey
potential.
posted was psyops. I think California ain't done by a long shot.
No, they're
Nope.
not. 100%.
No, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
No, I think that the Angels are going to be good again. They're always good. Now they're not. Well, again, it'll depend on, I guess, what happens to Cleveland. But unless you think Cleveland's going to be good right away, I think the 3 teams in that division that contend in 2060 and the 3 that don't are pretty clear.
This division's gonna
You
fucking
guys are going
suck
to
in
make
5
me.
years, man.
You guys, the Phillies have an awful lot of money to spend this offseason.
Word
you
on
guys
the
are gonna
street
make
is
me
lots of people
contend.
do.
You're gonna make me try to contend in this American League. Looks pretty weak.
No,
Looks pretty weak.
no,
It's
I
all that
forbid
playoff
you.
revenue you
Looks
got.
pretty
Trent.
weak. Looks pretty weak.
wait.
It does. Don't fall for the trick.
Looks pretty weak. Looks
All
pretty
right,
weak.
gentlemen. I'm gonna be the bad guy here. We are right at about we're at the 90-minute mark plus the half-hour pre-show or whatever. So we're at the perfectly 2-minute mark. I'm gonna give you guys a chance for one final thought before we wrap it up. I'm certain we're gonna see many Sky News articles with how teams feel about where they got drafted. I'm fucking hyped. The content is gonna be off the wall. Yeah, my final thought is I'm so happy this went the way it did. It went pretty much how I envisioned it. Like, I'm happy all the captains drafted to their own success and didn't do any fuckery or memery. I knew they wouldn't. Everybody wants to win too badly, so I'm stoked that this went as well as it did, and we're definitely doing this shit again in 15 years.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I can't wait.
Pretty fun.
I'm
gonna be one of the teams drafted in 15 years. I'll tell you.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, the work in progress for the formula, but it is going to be based on actual like merit. Like, my thinking is, it might be like total wins plus modifiers, right? Like, if you win your division, you get 3% more wins, or I might do a points-based system where winning your division gets you X points, making the playoffs, making the SCS. I don't know. It's still a work in progress, but it'll be totally merit-based. It won't be. Not that these weren't, right? I mean, there's arguments
for pretty merit-based, right?
Yeah. There's arguments for maybe a couple of captains, but come on, like, we're splitting hairs here. These are 6 of the best teams in our league, so.
Yeah, I don't care about the captains. That's fine. You picked a good group. Yeah, nothing wrong with this.
Yep. Rock on. Good job, fellas. What a great evening.
Yep. Big fan. I got to go smoke a cigarette. Goodbye, guys.
All right, everybody. Take it easy. And we'll see you tomorrow, like 10.5 hours for the draft lotto. I got to set that up now, too, so.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. We gotta do that.
Draft lotto and new divisions and a new day. And unfortunately, the moved up Rule 5, which isn't too popular. But we'll see. All right, take it easy, everybody. Ciao.